Hey, how's it going? Is my stuff? There we go. Yeah. It's kind of funny. I've started stream a couple times and I have forgot to turn on my mic phantom power or something. So I'm just talking here for, like 10 or 15 seconds and nobody can hear me. And it's pretty good, but hey, welcome. Happy Tuesday. We are back. So yesterday we got a lot done as far as the diving into the go4.org/intern package. And we started writing a blog post actually. So got the majority of that done. We did about 4 hours yesterday and got a lot done with that. So today I wanted to circle back. I got some feedback from the authors of the package, talking about little details that I perhaps should clarify or discuss. So, for example, the whole reason the finalizer and the resurrected field exists in the first place is because of the potential for a race. So they want me to discuss that race in more detail and such. So should be fun. Late to the game. Yeah, it sucks. Underscores and usernames not good. You gotta get, you gotta have that hashtag personal brand on everything. Like, if I ever can't get MD layer, I get pretty mad. Actually, Chase made me do MD layer with a number, because they just needed a number, and then Charter did the same thing, and I'm pretty mad about both. But it's not like it matters. But if I was like MD layer or something at gmail.com, I'd be looking for a new address. Anyway, so we got this blog going. I had to use the 0 because I forgot what my password was for my original Jackcase. Yeah, sounds about right. You do own both. Hey, Rothberry, thank you for the follow. You really weren't following me until now? Really? Wow. I've been streaming for a minute, man. Yeah, so we got a pull request here. Thankfully, we can do this with Markdown and GitHub reviews and such. So the folks who wrote the package gave me some feedback. So this is useful. See, it's kind of funny now because I adjusted the webcam yesterday for sitting down, and now the top of my head's out of frame. Like, I can't get this quite right. I don't know. It's not quite right for standing and sitting, but anyway, let's see here. So the feedback I got, Josh and Dave gave me some good feedback and things. So I guess I'll probably just go through each of these and make sure that I list their points. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Dave didn't want credit for this. Let's see here. I'll leave it as is and resolve this comment. I'll be sure to thank them all at the end because I learned a lot just reading this as well. It's pretty cool, actually, when you're playing tricks where you break the unsafe rules and stuff. Hey, a real sweetheart, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that as well. Welcome. I'm pretty close to 500 followers. I'm 483. That's pretty good. It's pretty cool. I think Large Data Bank's got a big lead on me at this point. He's had a couple of big raids from people, so I got to compete, right? Yeah. All right, let's start at the top. Go back to this. Oh, do I? Yeah, I was thinking later today I might actually stream some Stardew Valley. So I was discussing with friends, and I don't really like streaming games that much, because I have a hard time focusing on both chat and the game. But I think Stardew might be slow enough pace where it doesn't really matter, and it plays on Linux. So if I feel like playing, I could just mess around, So we'll see what happens. But I think for the time being, we are going to just hang out and work on this. What does resolve conversation mean? So in this particular case, it means that like the comment has been addressed, so I can move on and work on something else. So in that particular case, there was a discussion there. We realized that we didn't want to make any changes, so I resolved it to know that, I, as the author of the pull request, deemed this feedback to be resolved. And of course, the author of the comment can always go back and undo that as well if they feel that it's not. But you're unfollowing. Yeah, you should. You'll probably get to spam my alerts that way if you do. Cool. I should get some tunes going too, shouldn't I? Spotify. Oh. Yeah, I opened up Stardew Valley and Steam and stuff, and it changed the geometry of my windows, and for some reason my center display had changed to some non-native resolution and 30 frames per second, and it was god awful. So I'm a little afraid to do that again, especially if I do it. I feel like while I'm streaming, things are just gonna get real bad, but we'll see. We'll give it a shot, right? What do I want to listen to today? Something kind of chill, I think. That'll work for now. Avatar lo-fi beats. Avatar as in the show or the movie or what? See, I'm an album guy. Like, I've been doing shuffle more in my car, but I've still been listening to albums, like, in general, Keep things more fun for me. The show, really? Interesting. What would that even be like? I have no idea. That's strange. Let's see here. So Josh comments, interesting codicil. Codicil? That's a word I have never used myself. Is when people talk about string interning in Go, they are thinking of the context of making an array byte to string conversion cheaper by reusing the resulting string values. Okay. This is what his package implements. Let's see here. Oh, he also has a string interning blog. Neat. Yeah, so I should make sure I clarify the differences. Yep. That implementation doesn't have the strong guarantee that identical strings have identical data pointers. Care a lot about strong identity guarantees since that's what makes them usable as map keys for equals, yet only take one word instead of two. There's no need to attempt to rapidly and cheaply create them out of byte slices. Teasing those two ideas apart early on here to avoid confusion. You wanted to add this to his package, but the difference is subtle enough that doing so might be dangerous and confusing. Codicil or codicil, I don't know how you pronounce it. An addition or supplement that explains, modifies, or revokes a will or part of one. Neat. Today I learned. It's kind of funny because it's a word I've seen before, but I frankly didn't know the definition. I can imply it based on the context around it, but, you know. So this is, well, let's see here. So we mentioned the string interning Wikipedia article, and I feel like this covered some of it. Let's see here. So this is string interning plus the guarantee that something with two items with identical keys point to an identical data pointer in the end as well. I have a message. Somebody sent me. You know we can't hear the music, right? Yes, I know. Because I don't want to put music on stream because I don't want to get DMCA'd. Yeah, so the thing is with like music on Twitch is that if you play it for your viewers, you have to have the license to do so, and it's like this whole big thing, and people have gotten like copyright strikes and had their channels suspended and like all this stuff, and like ultimately I think what's best for me is just to have my voice on, and then you can listen to whatever music you want. You know, like chances are pretty good you've got some chill thing you want to listen to, and you can have me on the background or whatever else. Like, so ultimately it ends up just being easier to not do music on stream, I think. So I am listening to music, but none of you can hear it, and that's on purpose. So as a non-native English speaker, I have a habit to always look up words I don't know yet. Yeah, I should do that too. But when I'm on stream, I'm like, oh, I know what I'm doing, right? Anyway. A single copy of each string is called its intern. It's typically looked up by a method of the string class. String intern in Java. Okay. So this is string interning plus the guarantee that Josh mentions, the data pointer. Strength to type, yeah. Technically should be used to reduce the number of string allocations. In addition, another need is that identical strings will have identical data pointers. Another need for NetAdder IP. Peter hit here. Thank you for the follow. Bert MB, thank you for the follow as well. That was quick. Did I miss those? Yeah, 2 back to back. Hey, I think somebody did unfollow me. I had 483 and I just got 2 follows. Now I got 484. So somebody's messing with me. Is to guarantee that identical input strings will also, let's see here, also have identical backing data pointers in the intern pool. This enables makes them usable as map keys and only takes one word instead of 2. This ensures that the input strings are usable as map keys, usable internally as map keys, and can be used to, let's see here. It can be used to occupy only one word of memory within the type rather than two as a Go string header would. I think that clarifies it a little better, right? Teasing those two ideas apart here, originally want to add to. I wonder if I should mention Josh's package. I mean, it's kind of it's a different sort of thing. Like it's just more of the. I think when you what is it? When you turn an array of bytes into a string, doesn't it have to copy and reallocate because the string is then immutable and byte slices are mutable? But I think that what people usually do is the unsafe thing where you put a string header on a backing byte array and then just don't violate the invariant where you treat the byte slice as immutable from that point on in the program. But of course, you can't do that at compile time or anything, so it's up to you to enforce that at runtime, which is a thing. But let's see here. If not IP is to guarantee that identical input strings will also have identical backing data pointers in the intern pool. Usable internally as map keys. Can be occupy less space and can be used to occupy less space in the pool and can be used to occupy only one word of memory within the type rather than two as a Go string header would. I don't know if I quite like the wording there, but I feel like that is kind of getting closer to what we want to convey here. So I think I'll probably give that a shot for now. Doesn't just intern strings, interns any comparable value. Given you only talk about strings, you might want to call that up before sharing this code. Yeah, so the thing is like, reason we return value is so that... So I think we discussed this a little bit on stream yesterday. Josh points out here that like this returns an empty interface, so you could use like any type with this, but for most primitive types, it wouldn't matter. Like you need types that can be used for equality, like in a map. So strings are fine. Integers would be fine, but you're not saving yourself anything here by using an integer because even a uint64 occupies 8 bytes of memory, right? And a pointer is, a pointer on a 64-bit platform is also 8 bytes of memory. So you're not doing yourself any good other than adding the pointer indirection. So something else you could use this for example, I guess, is if you had a large structure you're using for equality. So like if you had like a file info structure that has like, some compound fields with like, the size of the file and its flags and its permissions, and like it occupies, let's say, 32 bytes of memory, then you could use those as map keys, assuming that every field within there is also can be used for equality. And then at that point, you are also saving the space. Doesn't just intern strings, it interns any comparable value, right? Might want to call that for sharing this code. Yeah, I can mention that. Although we specifically... Let's see here. My dude is streaming again. Yes, I am. Hey, how's it going, Lithium? Yeah, I have not much going on today. I did a couple of errands and stuff, and this sounded like a good way to get started, today. 2 days, Christmas continues, it's going. Nice. It's worth noting that since our code will accept empty interface, you could use it with any type, which can be used as a map key. This blog will focus on strings, but the same technique, the same package could be used for... You're finishing a Coursera NLP course, so just chilling. Nice, right on. This blog will focus on strings, but the same package could be used for... The same API could be used for comparing the equality of a large struct type as well. Okay, so we cover that now. The reason we return a pointer to a value from get, so the handles you get are only 1 word long. Right, right. So this value here returns a 1-word value instead of returning a possibly large amount of data from the pool below. I think I'll add a comment here. Note that get returns a pointer to value, so we only return 1 word of data to the caller. Should reflow these comments as well. Oh, shoot. Don't want to do that. Get returns a pointer to value, so we only return 1 word of data to the caller, despite potentially storing a large amount of data within the value itself. The value's interface itself. Despite potentially storing a large amount of data within the value itself. Yeah, I think that's probably a fair thing to say. I think that covers Josh's point, and I can probably leave it on the doc down here too. Okay. That'll always be true. So if we keep adding more and more, it'll grow in size, but it never shrinks. Yes. Okay, that's a good point too. So with the safe implementation, we have no way of ever removing values from the intern pool. So as we keep adding strings or whatever else to the pool, ultimately we will get to a point where the memory usage never shrinks. So every time you add a new zone or something in there, you're continuing to add data and it just never shrinks. So I should explicitly call that out instead of saying it will continue to grow. Caveat to this approach: the pool can never shrink. The pool can never shrink until the pool can never shrink. Let's get to this approach. The pool can never shrink. If we keep adding more and more values to the pool, I don't really like more and more. If we keep adding more values to the pool, it will continue to grow in size and allocate more memory until our program eventually runs out of memory and crashes. Even if we don't add more values, we've still stranded some of our memory for the entire duration of the program's execution. I think that calls it out a little more explicitly, right? Exactly 1. Reducing the number of repeated allocations. Reducing, so the number of repeated allocations, let's see here. So the basic idea of string interning is to retain a global pool of strings which can be created or fetched on the fly. Meaning so that each string is allocated exactly once for values which are identical. That seems fair, right? I think that's a little more explicit. Let's see here. Worth mentioning, the reason we don't fall afoul of that is that we are storing our values as map values in a global map, so they cannot be stack allocated, right? So this is something that Matthew Dembski pointed out, is that Go technically does have a a moving garbage collector in the sense that stacks can grow and be moved, but the heap cannot. Values in the heap cannot be moved. So the unsafe package, the rules make it so that you are supposed to assume that at some point Go could have a garbage collector that will move things around in the heap, but as of Go 1.15 and today, that is not true. So we're breaking that rule on purpose here, actually. Because let's see here. Because go4.org intern stores values in a global map let's see here. They will never be stack allocated, and thus this is not a problem for this particular use case. Technically, Go does have a moving garbage collector for its stacks as of Go 115. See Matthew Dembski's issue for more details. Because Go4.org in turn stores values on a global map, they will never be stack. The values will never be stack allocated, and thus it is not a problem. And thus this is not a problem. Thus this is. And thus this is not a problem for this particular use case. Can't read my own damn blog, you know? It's kind of funny. It's like, you know, it's not like it's my own handwriting. It's like I can't read my own typing. Thus this is. That wording is just a little, I don't know. I find that I tend to like write things out in a certain way, and then I have a hard time reading it, and I want to go through and change it, but that's probably okay. What is going on here? So I was driving back from the store in my car, and it's like, hey, reminder, look in the back seat, and I'm like, why? And I realized I bought some beer, so my car knew that there was something in the back seat. So it's like, oh, reminder, you might want to take a look back there. And my friend tweeted, glad your children are safe. Yeah, Bell's got me. I mean, I'm a big Bell's fan as is, but I went downtown and they have a special like holiday pack where there are 2 beers they've never bottled before. And of course, it's like, well, you got to buy 12 beers to get those. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm buying a 12 pack. So can't help it, you know? I'm excited to get together with a large data bank and possibly some others and do like that stream where we hang out and just talk tech and drink beer. I think that'll be a really good time. We haven't discussed the details yet. I suspect we'll probably do that in the next couple of weeks on like a Friday night or something, but we'll figure it out, you know. Probably not a convenient time for people in Europe, unfortunately, but that's just the reality with our work schedules and stuff. Yep, okay, so we've gone through, let's see here. I've added a bit of content. I've added a bit that explains the need for identical strings to return identical data pointers as well. Can I start a review here or not? See, the problem is that, yeah, I don't want to add single comments. I want to start a review on my own stuff, right? So, Josh, there we go. And I can change from split diff to unified because this is just kind of silly right now with the, let's see here. Unified, apply and reload. Uh-oh. I got a Snapchat from a friend who I think is watching this stream right now. What's going on here? Ah, nice. Let's see here. I've clarified this now. Let's see. Add review. Ah, uh-oh. I popped my chat tab out. That's not what I wanted. Man, the Twitch UI sometimes. The stream manager UI, it's pretty flexible and stuff, but I find that things either just disappear or don't work or they won't update. It's very strange. Don't really understand why that would be the case, but in turns any comparable value, got that. Okay, so I've called that out explicitly. Mentioned both of these points now. What is going on? Sounds like somebody's banging something around outside. You know what sucks is I live in an apartment and I had some like pretty nice trees outside and they cut them down. I mean, the one bad thing is just the way my apartment's facing, we don't get much light, so you got to have lights on for a lot of the day. But trees were nice. I'm gonna miss those, especially during like the spring and stuff, you know. Like I thought they were gonna take down like maybe one of them, but they took down all 3, and it's like, why? But I don't know. Whatever. I should be out of here within like a few months anyway. Got a down payment saved for a house, doing really good, you know. So that's the next plan. And then I have so many projects I want to do. Like it's gonna be so much fun doing all that home automation stuff and the dashboards, and yeah, it's gonna be great. I was thinking about poking at my car. Like I know that the My Subaru stuff has an API that's undocumented that I could use, and somebody did it in Python, but I am afraid of potentially voiding my warranty, as a friend points out, even though I can't find anything in the terms of use that would indicate that's the case. But I don't know. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. Noted. Own house, put Ethernet and power on every single wall first thing. Yeah, right. I know. That's the thing, is like the houses in the neighborhood I'm looking at are not as, they're usually a little older houses. So I suspect that I would have to do Ethernet myself. And frankly, running Ethernet sucks and I hate terminating it. Maybe I would just pay somebody to do it, honestly. But yeah, it's definitely something I want. Because I kind of want to do like a 10 gig plus backbone. Like I think that like a 25 gig, like 25 gig at that point would be really nice. I think, doesn't Ubiquiti have some new, hang on a sec. Let's see here. Doesn't Ubiquiti have 25 GVE gear now? Leaf switch. 48x 25 GVE or 6x 100 GVE. That's beautiful. Oh my god, I want it. Probably costs like $2,000 though. How does authentication work for the car API? I don't know for sure. So I'm guessing that it's probably your typical JWT or whatever the hell else. I could just, people have already done the work in Python, so I could basically steal that. But then you need to enter a PIN in order to actually do something like remote start the car. So I will probably look at doing something like, I don't know. The thing is there's not that much useful data they can pull. Oh, early access. I've got early access. One sec. Let me pull up my creds. Have the contractors put in cable ducts that you can pull cables fighter labor if you need to, if you plan to live there long term. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like, I think I'm at the point where I'm pretty, whatever. Yeah, $2,000. Yeesh. I'm at the point where I'm pretty financially like stable and stuff, and I suspect I can honestly kind of skip the starter house. So I would plan on, if I was going to buy something, I would be serious about it, and I'd want to do that, and do it right. But yeah, this thing is ballin'. 10G, 25G, SFP 28 ports, and then 6 40G, 100G, QSFP 28 ports. Insanity. I mean, I guess if I bought one of these, then I would be way, way overkill, but of course I would use this as like a distribution switch and then distribute down to like 1 gig, like, 1 gig switches in different rooms or something. Well, shit, so SFP 28. I've got SFP plus gear for my 10 gig. SFP 28, I assume, is something completely different. That's the thing with a lot of these, is that you end up with the totally different connectors and stuff, and like I suspect that buying NICs with the new stuff would be pretty hard. Says design it for data center, and MD Lair thinks that's spot on for house. That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, basement server rack, all that stuff. Do it up, be pretty good. Now, realistically, I don't need this. That would be sick, but I'm thinking something more so like the I don't want their routers. Yeah, see, I want like this, but I want this with like a lot more 10G. 4 10G. Yeah, like I want a switch with a bunch of 10G is really what I want. Two 10G SFP plus. Yeah, I mean, like, my house is a data center, so I wish. Yeah, be pretty sweet. Yeah, I mean, I don't need this, but it would be ridiculous, right? But see, everything they have is like all 1 gig and then like two 10 gig SFP plus uplinks, which is cool. But see, this one only has 1 gig SFP uplinks. Like, why? What's the point? Like, I feel like if you're going to do something like this, like you want 10 gig minimum for like, putting it all together, but I don't know. Anyway, not something I need to think about today, but I guess I should start budgeting for that, right? Make a budget category for a home network upgrade. Because right now I'm just running a couple of Unify switches. I'll start with the Microtech. Yeah, I think I actually have. I think I probably have that exact same switch that you just linked. Is this the one I have? Yeah, I've got one of those sitting right over there. It's running between my desktop and my NAS. So I've got like one 10 gig link. Wait until the stuff gets cheap. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the reality is, like, I don't actually need 10 gig. I just want it. I mean, it's fun, Like, 10 gig Ethernet is, pretty sick, right? So, right. So, safe operating mode, more distinct items. More items, yeah, more distinct items. That's a good point. Dave clarified. So more items are added, more distinct items. More distinct. If we keep adding more distinct values to the pool, it will continue to grow in size and allocate more memory until our program eventually runs out of memory and crashes. Correct. Even if we don't add more values, we still stranded some of our memory for the entire duration of the program's execution. Yes. True. Is Ynab worth it? Seems like so much work. Yes, it is. It is 100% worth it, and I have personally bought subscriptions for 3 friends. I've been using it for like 2 months, like solid now, and I bought subscriptions for 3 friends already. Yeah, it's worth it. You need to... So for me, I was previously budgeting with Mint, and Mint is just kind of like a after the fact thing. Mint's like, oh, well, you spent a little bit more than you should have this month on groceries or alcohol or whatever else, and it's like, I didn't really like the Mint way. Like, I felt like, you know, it's kind of the slap on the wrist and just move on, right? But with Ynab, it's like, okay, this is how much money you have right now. Your money is bucketed for these things. If you spend too much money on whiskey, suddenly you got to take money away from something else you want to do, like vacation or home theater PC or, you know, whatever the heck else. So it's great because it works on the money you have right now. And every time you get paid, it's like, okay, I have this much more money to put in these buckets. And I've got it linked up with both my bank accounts, my credit cards, my investment accounts. It's not as great for investments, but I do like a reconciliation with Vanguard like once a month. But yeah, it's excellent. It is absolutely worth it. And you can actually get like a free trial of it too for like 34 days. So just try it that way. Or actually, if you want, I can just give you my referral link. And yeah, let me just do that really quick. Then I think you get like an extra free month as well. Let's see here. I got to make sure I don't open Ynab on stream. That would be a thing. Yeah, so that's my link, and if you do that, then when your friends use your link to subscribe, you both get a free month. So I think that would give you the free trial plus another month, and that way you're not committed to like a full year. But you need to try it for a few weeks. Setting up the categories and stuff takes more work, but once you set up the categories, the day-to-day use is trivial, and it's so worth it. Some people do manual transaction entry. For me, I have to do automatic. So it works best. IMHO, most personal finance management is some work, but pays off in the end. Personally use H Ledger. Yeah, it's absolutely worth it. Like beforehand, I was like, okay, I think I have enough money for a house. It's like I kind of had like some mental math, and now I can look at my budget on Ynab and be like, yes, I know exactly how much money I have. So that works out really well. So Dave mentioned more distinct items. Good point. Noted. I guess I will probably... I don't know if I should resolve all of these. Maybe I should let them resolve them. I'd like to post this like tomorrow, I think. So yeah, no problem at all. I'm happy to talk about it. It's kind of funny because like I didn't think I would be that. I mean, like I knew I would like it, but like I've become like a member of the cult like immediately. Like I'm trying to sell all my friends on it. It's somewhat comforting perhaps, to see your expenses totaled for the first time. Like, generally, you have some kind of an idea, but unless you track it, it was a bit of a shock. Yes, that's exactly it. Like, I've had some months that have been very, very expensive. You know, perhaps I made some purchases I shouldn't have. And it's like, I've been financially stable for a while, so I'm okay. But knowing that I have a plan, like, takes all the stress away. Like, I'm not worried at all about things like taxes or, you know, down payment for my car, down payment for a house, because I know I've got it. And because I can buy all of those things with confidence because I've planned for it for months. So back in just 1 sec. I guess somebody's here. Maybe a package. Sorry about that. One of the neighbors needed a quick hand with something. Yeah, I've had it happen before where there was one time where I was here and I could hear the sound of like water running from somewhere else, and this lady is coming around knocking on all the doors. Like her water heater, like the one of the lines had broken, and she had no idea how to shut it off. So I bolt up there and I reach over to the back and find the valve and shut it off for her. But like by that point, it had already been running for, it had already been leaking for a good like 5 or 10 minutes, and that was a bit of a mess. So I try to at least go check and see what's going on in case there's something big, But yeah, we're good. Anyway, back to it. Hey, what's up? Are we done? No, we are not done. Which reminds me, I need to sync up my H Ledger this week for closing my financial year. Yeah, totally. I mean, use whatever works for you, right? But I think that at least for people in the United States, Ynab works super well. I can't speak to how it works anywhere else. I'm not sure if they're accessible with all the banks and stuff or not, because they partner with like Plaid and MX as like their transaction providers. But it works incredibly well with those. So yeah. We'll note. Fail to compile. So yeah, this is the unsafe package we were talking about. I guess I don't really need the terminal right now, do I? So the go for unsafe, or not go for. Yeah, it is go for. Package can be updated to fail compiling when the program's behavior. If a program or its dependencies, I need to read this sentence from the beginning before I start changing things. If a program or its dependencies import this package and a future version of Go uses a moving garbage collector which may rearrange items in the heap, the package can be updated to fail compilation. When the program's behavior would cause dangerous let's see here. Would cause dangerous effects. This behavior is now invalid. This behavior is. Yep, that seems okay. Thanks for clarifying. Noted that as well. The wording obscures the subtlety. Yeah, the problem is this data race is like the really tricky part, and I didn't really want to get into it. I kind of wanted to like leave it for people who really care to dig into the details to like look into this, but I guess perhaps I think Josh and Dave both mentioned that it's important. So let's see here. Obscures the subtlety. Resurrected in the delaying logic of the finalizer is only necessary when materialized a value out of thin air. The wording obscures the subtlety. In other words, we violated the assumptions that the runtime makes about pointers, so we have to do the resurrected trick to make sure we straighten things out. In the path where we create a value, the value's only existing reference in the program is a strong pointer. Oh, okay, so what are the odds we have Dota players in chat? I have no idea. I'm not a MOBA player myself. I don't really find them interesting. So yeah, so it's a strong pointer when the value is created. Yep, that doesn't violate the rules. So if nobody gets it, we can just drop it. It's only necessary when materialize the value out of thin air. From the pool as of yet. Obscures the subtlety. Resurrected in the delaying logic. It's only necessary. False. When the value is first created, it is a strong pointer, which can be strong pointer or strong reference. I think we've been using weak reference, strong reference, which can be tracked by Go's garbage collector. The resurrection trick becomes necessary because we materialize the studying SAT writing pays off while commenting, huh? Maybe you could doing your SAT stuff. That sounds like a pain in the ass. I had to do the ACT, years and years ago, and I did it once, got a decent score, got into the school I wanted to, and no longer cared about it. But I had friends who took it 3 times and got the same score, and I think my brother took it twice and he got a really good score both times, so it didn't even really matter. But it becomes necessary because we must materialize a strong reference from a weak reference when get is called. So let's read this whole thing now and just see where we're at. If the value did not already exist in the pool, we can create it now and intern it there by adding it to the map of weak references. Note that the v resurrected field defaults to false. When the value is first created, it is a strong reference which can be tracked by Go's garbage collector. The resurrection trick becomes necessary because we must materialize a strong reference from a weak reference when get is called. And the value is already interned in the pool. I think that's a little more clear. In the path where we create the value, the only value's only reference in the program is a strong pointer that doesn't violate the runtime's rules. So if nobody gets it, we just drop this value. There's no trickery required to GC the value safely, because no rules have been violated yet. If get is never called, the value can, the created pointer value can be deleted from the map and freed by the garbage collector with no further work. Freed by the garbage collector. Let's see here. I've reworded this a bit and tried to clarify. Let me know what you think. Walk people through the race, and then let's see here. So to avoid a race, I didn't really want to get into the data race, but perhaps we should, right? Explaining this to avoid a race and walk people through precisely what the race is. I outlined the steps that needed to happen for the bad version of the code to fail in one of the bugs on GitHub. When I first encountered this package, it wasn't clear to me where the race was or why Resurrected avoids it. I expect many readers are going to be in the same situation. Yeah. Yep. You're right. Of course. I casually played Dota. I think I played Dota with friends like a couple times, and then like I played like, I've played a couple of MOBAs, but like I said, it's just not really my thing, Was this on the... Was this the race? I think it is. The Fatal Error. Oops, this is it's quite a stacked race. So originally the code would clear the finalizer and give the GC a small window to collect it. Not sure why it wasn't kept alive. Oh, here it is. So, of course, clearing the finalizer will take concurrent garbage collect to do bad things. So something like this for the sequence events. GC runs mark. The value is dangling, so it gets marked for collection. Get creates a new pointer to value. The garbage collector will not notice this until the marked phase, and get clears the finalizer. The concurrent garbage collector gets around to processing the earmarked value and finds that it has no finalizer. So great, free it. And then get continues to operate on the materialized pointer, which now points to freed memory. So clearing a finalizer from an object gives the runtime immediate leave to delete that object without further ceremony. Normally, the reference that was being held to pass to set finalizer would prevent that, but the reference we're using was freshly conjured out of thin air, and it may be one more GC cycle until the runtime is aware of its existence for keeping alive purposes. Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. I mean, it's definitely the whole like mark and sweep thing, like breaking down the different phases of the GC. I guess perhaps I can just copy Dave's explanation here, really. To me, Dota's like Go, whereas League of Legends would be Python or Ruby. I'm not really sure I understand the comparison there, but yeah. So, fixed runtime crash. This has been changed a few times now. So finalizers within Go come with many caveats, but we make use of them here in order to ensure that weak references in the map can be deleted when they are no longer needed, and thus the underlying value can be garbage collected from the heap at some point in the future. The resurrected field exists in order to avoid a data erase. Consider the following scenario laid out by Dave. Oops. Let's see here. So this describes the race. So the value is dangling and it gets earmarked for collection with the finalizer run. Materializes a new pointer to the value, but the garbage collector won't notice that new pointer until the next mark phase. So get clears the finalizer. The original implementation of digital implementation, let's see here. It would clear ran into a subtle interaction between Go's garbage collector, and runtime finalizers. Consider the following scenario laid out by Dave Anderson. To avoid this race, we must verify the resurrected field and set another finalizer if another caller managed to fetch this value using get concurrently. Another caller managed to fetch this value using get concurrently, or if the concurrent garbage collector was in the middle of its mark and sweep process. If the value was not resurrected before the finalizer runs, we are finally able to free it from the weak reference pool. I think that's correct, but so because of the interactions, okay. That seems reasonable to me. It's very tricky. Like, I don't really know the internals of Go's current garbage collector implementation very well, but that seems to make sense to me, you know? Let's see here. Found and have tried to and have copied in your sequence, your explanation, to try to illuminate this a bit more. Subtlety you mentioned at some point. A few more comments. All right, we're getting there. About an hour into the stream. Okay, we're getting there. Subtlety should mention at some point. It's not exactly guaranteed that two identical values will have the same pointer to a value. It's only guaranteed that you won't be able to observe two different values at the same time. Oh, interesting. So imagine you intern the string foo. Okay. Then you stop using foo's value, so it gets garbage collected. Then you later intern foo again, and you weren't using it. So you'll get a new and probably different value. The old one got garbage collected, but that's okay because you can't compare the old versus the new because you, by definition, have gotten rid of the old one. Here's the twist. If your code plays unsafe games with values, thereby hiding them from the garbage collector and thus from package intern, it is theoretically possible that you can break package intern's strong identity guarantee. Same pointer means identical value. Unsafe is, well, unsafe. That's a bit of a... Wow, that's a bit of a... We're getting real into the weeds here, you know, like I'm enjoying this, but just wow, just this is what happens when you break the unsafe rules. Let's see here. The main way I can think of getting this in bad places is if you try to persist the values to a database somehow, but that's another phrasing of Josh's. If you hide these pointers from the garbage collector, the package invariants break. So there's a subtlety you should mention at some point. So I guess I should mention that you can't retain these values because you're hiding them from the garbage collector, and thus you could get yourself in trouble. So if you were to like try and like serialize them or something, or store them in like uint pointers, because if you convert it from a value, an intern value, to an unsafe pointer to a uint pointer, then you were hiding it from the garbage collector, and you can potentially retain that and convert it back later on, and then you're in trouble. So it's a bit of a thing, isn't it? You need to stream. One of my friends says you need to stream when I'm not working. Get a better job so you can watch me. Sheesh. Anyway, yeah, this is tricky. I feel like the problem is that like when you get into like, I mean, this blog is all about like talking about this sort of stuff, but like this is hurts a little bit, hurts my head. So let's see here. I think I'm probably just gonna link to this comment or something, but I don't know. I guess where would I mention this, right? Like I don't even know where this is appropriate. We talk about the garbage collector. Maybe one more. There's one more subtle interaction that is worth mentioning. Snyder points out it's not exactly guaranteed that two identical values will have the same pointer to a value. It's only guaranteed that you won't be able to observe different values at the same time. If you were to try to... You must be careful to avoid hiding intern values from the Go garbage collector via unsafe tricks or you will violate the package's guarantee that the same pointer means an identical value. Points to an identical value. So don't persist the values to a database. Yeah. Don't persist these values to a database or keep dangling uint pointers around. There's one more subtle interaction that is worth mentioning. Josh points out cool. I've mentioned this in this section and have linked to this comment thread in particular for more information. I personally think it'd be interesting to see why some other implementations fail. There are at least two that seem appealing. First, that Brad initially wrote is logical race that breaks the strong identity guarantees, and the second that Brad wrote that falls afoul of a different race, causing runtime crashes. I suppose I could link to the previous implementations as well, the more tricky stuff, but the problem is I don't want to. I'm already at the edge of my knowledge here, right? Like, let's see. Unsafe free. Found a pointer. Let's see here. Let's look at the commit history. And fix runtime crash. And then let's see here. I think, yeah, I'm not going to go into too many details, but I guess I'll probably link to these individual commits. In conclusion, let's see here. I think I can remove my draft banners at this point. We'll do the 30th on this, I think. I'll probably end up posting this tomorrow. Yeah, I figure if I publish this tomorrow at this point, around like 1 o'clock Eastern, that's always a good thing. It's kind of funny because like I work on a computer all day and I've been working from home for years and stuff, but I've got, plenty of friends who do different things. Like, my friend is an aircraft mechanic and he's like, who's hiring? And I'm like, yeah, my company, you just need 5 years of experience and like all this stuff. But I'm pretty fortunate, I think in reality, like, I mean, I worked hard to get where I am and stuff, but I never anticipated I'd be able to work from home in this capacity or just have the free time, the quality of life balance I do and everything. Like, it's all been really great. They take good care of me. DigitalOcean also took good care of me. Fastly takes good care of me. I really can't complain. Let's see here. The techniques used in or in turn are incredibly subtle and have some seriously sharp edges. There are, let's see here. Subject to a logical race that breaks the strong identity guarantees, and the second that falls afoul of a different race. Yeah, I missed this whole interaction. Like, I mostly saw I saw this a little bit and I followed a couple of the bugs, but I was out of town, I think, or it was like was it Christmas stuff or something? I don't know. Or I wasn't paying attention to the issue tracker very much, so I missed some of this. But let's see. Let's see here. Even experienced Go programmers can easily, even some of the most experienced Go programmers, let's see here. there were several missteps, several different implementations of this package that all had subtle defects. Additions to this package, written by some of the most experienced Go programmers on the planet, had subtle defects and logical and data races. Subtle defects and data races. You can follow the saga by checking out some of the following. Initial commit. Fatal error found pointer to free object. Object. This is fixed by, oops, keeping the wrong keyboard shortcut. Number 4. Rename, change ref field from int to resurrected boolean. And then this is because of this comment. It's not actual ref counting. Seems to me that the finalizer's ref could be 1 for setting to finalizer, which speed things up considerably. Is a bool enough? Let's see here. So the techniques used in Go4.org intern are incredibly subtle and have some seriously sharp edges. There were several different implementations of this package written by some of the most experienced Go programmers on the planet that still managed to have subtle defects in data races. Also, I'll go checking out some of the following. In conclusion, handle with care and make sure you give this package a try if you need the guarantees it provides, rather than trying to roll your own. I don't know if I like that wording again, but let's see here. Let me make sure I thank the gang again. Special thanks again to Dave, Josh, and Brad for all of their work and discussions that ultimately led or led? LED, right? Like led is as in past tense. Ultimately led to the creation. It's so weird. Led versus led, right? Past tense, the verb led is led. Yeah, okay. I thought so. Led to the creation of this package. Let's see here. I strongly recommend giving this package a try if you need the guarantees it provides rather than trying to roll your own. Incredibly subtle and have some seriously sharp edges. There are several different implementations of this package written by some of the most experienced Go programmers on the planet that still manage to have subtle defects and data races. Follow the saga by checking out some of the following. Fix runtime crash, rename. Yeah. Strongly recommend giving this package a try if you need the guarantees it provides rather than trying to roll your own. Special thanks again to them. All the work and discussions that ultimately led to the creation of this package. To the creation and improvement, creation and productionization, maybe? Creation. That's fine. Yep, and then I usually, in the end of my blogs, I like to link a couple things for myself. Let's see here. So we're getting close, gang. Getting real close. What else do we want to take a look at? What's going on? Chat got kind of quiet. We hit that you hit that 1 hour mark and things kind of dip off for a while, you know. I'm not muted, am I? No, I'm not. Okay. That'd be bad. We need to take a look at the BitTorrent client. That's the thing. I wrote a BitTorrent tracker at one point, but it's really bad. We don't want to look at that. That was my first Go project. What was the last blog I did? It was the generics one, right? Yeah. Go generics. Yeah, that was horrible. I think I might have went through it on stream one time just a little bit, and there were so many problems with it, you know. You're categorizing expenses? Nice. Do you have a Hugo blog? Yes, I do. This is all Hugo right here. So actually I can do the, what do you call it? Hugo serve. Let's see here. Close, and there we go. Oh, that's right. I needed the build future tag that Taryn told me about yesterday. Build future. Okay. Oops. Formatting looks good. Yeah, I think so too. I just wanted to take a quick look, but yeah, I think it's probably going to be fine. Yep, looks pretty good to me. I think probably at this point we will wrap up working on this and maybe do something else. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really want to work on, like as far as like code stuff goes, or maybe some home labby type stuff. NixOS? Is there stuff I want to do? I think I need to update the Core-Rad NixOS module actually to use the built-in package library now versus the one I have rolled for it. So that could be something we can do. Let's see here. If you have questions or comments, feel free to reach out on Twitter or MDLair and go for Slack. I wrote this blog during a couple of live streams, and regularly stream Go content on Twitch. So feel free to stop by and say hi. If you have questions or comments, reach out on Twitter or MDLair on Go for Slack. I wrote this blog during a couple of live streams and regularly live streams. Hello, Twitch chat. Thanks for reading. Cool. We need our own chat protocol for Go. What do you mean, like a chat protocol, like a not IRC or something? Oh, to make a blog post tutorial. Yeah, I was thinking actually it could be kind of fun to, like, you know, if there's something that I did like on stream that like that, I could potentially write a blog discussing, from ground up. But what I usually do is I tend to work on a project and then break out individual techniques. So for example, there's a pattern I use all the damn time. Byte parsing. This my blog from 2018. I have used this pattern nonstop, like all over the place, and I keep using it, and it's great. So would recommend. So if you ever need to like parse something, like a repeated series of like things, like this iterator API works really, really well. So I like it a lot. And I guess I'll make one more link to it here at the end. The unsafe techniques used in, yeah, there we go. There have been several different iterations of this package written by some of the most experienced Go programmers on the planet and still managed to have subtle defects in data races. You can follow the saga, checking out some of the following. Strongly recommend giving this package a try if you need the guarantees it provides rather than trying to roll your own. Special thanks again for all of their work and discussions that ultimately led to the creation of this package. If you have any questions, yeah, this looks pretty good. I feel pretty good about this. I think we're probably gonna wrap the blog for now. Unsafe string interning in Go. And push. Let's go through the GitHub discussions one more time. Let's see here. I've noted a few of the discussions along the way, but I think I've already added enough nitty gritty, enough deep. I think I'm probably tapped as far as my personal knowledge about the issues that have been solved along the way. Done a few of the discussions and iterations, but I think I'm probably tapped as far as my personal knowledge. Let's see here. Getting there. Possible conclusion. Yep. Can I not comment on this? I can't. That's weird. I wanted to comment on Josh's review there, but I cannot for some reason. Okay, updated. I think this is basically good to go, and we'll probably publish on tomorrow, the 30th at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern. Cool. We done good. And now we can actually view it here on the Netlify deploy preview as well, which is nice. Talks. I haven't written a talk in a while. I haven't had to, I guess, with all the conferences being canceled and stuff, but cool. We did good. Okay. What else was I just talking about? Yeah, NixOS stuff. Maybe we could maybe do some of that. I don't know. That could be interesting. Oh yeah, I was gonna terraform my Unify stuff. Ugh. Maybe eventually. You don't do CSS much. I do CSS never. My CSS experience is like 15 years old, so I am the wrong person to ask. Cool. Let's see. What haven't I done in here in a while? Unify. Yeah, I was thinking about the module. So I've got my configuration. It's pretty good, but to do factor out this metric. Yeah, I want to fix this eventually. This is something silly. As far as the preference, so since I've got my desktop is on a 1 gig and a 10 gig link, the 10 gig VLAN advertises with a high preference for neighbor discovery, so traffic should prefer that route. But it's kind of silly because the way I differentiate that is through this 10 gigabit interface name, which is not quite right. So let me all right, Spotify, what do you got for me? Okay. Yeah, I wanted to go through the Cored, the module for sure. So Nix packages, Nix OS. Yeah, it's been a long time since I pulled this, but let's see if we can update see if we can update the module here to use the new library they wrote, because basically I was doing a thing before where it would turn Nix expressions into JSON into TOML, and I think they have like a blessed way to do that now actually. So something called like packages lib. I don't know why I was looking at Nginx. Beats me. Services, networking, Cored. Okay. Yeah, I think I could probably fix this up. Yeah, see, we got this little Go TOML thing. Let's see here. Nix OS modules. grep-r. Isn't it like packages lib? Something like that. Package lib, packages lib, package lib. I don't remember what it's called. Struggle. Nix OS, Nix packages, Nix OS. I could have sworn it's called like packages lib. Yeah, here we go. Packages lib. Yeah. Is for functions and values that can't be in lib because they depend on some package. So yeah, settings formats. This is what I want. I want to use this. This is in master, right? Packages dash lib. TOML. Yeah, I want to figure out how to do that. Yeah, see, Cored. Oops. From TOML. Yeah, a lot of these, everybody's implementing this in their own way, but I'm pretty sure there's a blessed way of doing it now. There was like an RFC about this actually, so I should go find that. That would be under the Nix OS RFCs, I believe. I want to say it was RFC 42. I wonder if it ever got added. Yeah, settings options in discussion still. But it's been part of here for a while. Because basically what the old way of doing things, so for those who have never seen like NixOS before, the idea is like it's like declarative Linux, right? So you used to write out config files like this, but you can make it so that you can have like the settings object that's these Nix attributes and use the language and then turn this into whatever else. Excuse me. So this ends up being a lot cleaner for the user, and you hide some of the complexity of the config file. So this is something I did for Cored a long time ago, but I want to update this. Let's see here. Does this use the packages lib? I'm just gonna look up some of the PRs in here and see if they use it. I have to do all the things. Yeah. CSS is one thing I have help with. Yeah, I'm bad at CSS. Real bad. Real bad. I would unfortunately be the wrong person to ask about such things. Doesn't appear to be... Yeah. Free Civ. Am I running NixOS on my laptop? No, I'm running Ubuntu on my personal machines. I run Ubuntu on my desktop and my laptop. I run NixOS on all of my infrastructure machines, though, except for the ones that run Go Crazy for Raspberry Pi. But my server and my router are both NixOS. My Raspberry Pis are Go Crazy because that's just even easier for that. And I would like to potentially do NixOS on desktop or laptop, but I have not committed to that. And I am afraid that potentially if I have to run something for work, that it might not work, and I don't want to mess with it, you know? So... config. Why does this use the RFC, or did they mention it and they just didn't use it? The problem is it's been ages since I've looked at this, so I don't remember. Use RFC 42 and freeform modules. Freeform modules, interesting. This is new to me. Oh, let's do this. You're okay with CSS, JavaScript, TypeScript, etc. Webpack, do a lot of front end. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm no good. So you can define values for option paths that have not been declared explicitly. Attribute specific types to otherwise been adders of. Interesting. This isn't quite what I'm looking for, I don't think. Ah, here we go. Next representative formats. Sweet. Packages, formats, TOML. Ah. Settings format. Nice. Uses a JSON configuration file that demonstrates how to be used. Okay. So this is a set of Nix attributes, but I say settings format type. So TOML. Okay. Could be. I wonder if it's going to be that easy. I guess we'll find out, huh? So I will get rid of my old stuff. So settings format TOML. And then settings type equals settings format type. And default is an empty object. Types unique, types attributes. So I still want unique? I would think so, but and then wherever, yeah, settings format generate. Settings format generate corrad.toml. Okay. That seems easy enough, I suppose. So we can get rid of, get rid of our GoToml hack thing here. Oh man, how do I do this? It's been ages. So if I do Nix build That builds the package, right? So I want to run the tests, I think. Yeah. Because then I have result bin. So I've got a core red distribution now, so that works. But I need to run the tests. So I think that's just nix build, nixos tests core red, right? Is that it? And then I think we wait a while. It's gonna take a little bit probably, but yeah. Huh. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious if this is gonna work or not. It seems easy enough. I mean, I just say I have a TOML formatted configuration file. I want unique keys here that are of TOML. It can be converted to TOML type from Nix expressions. And then we want to generate a TOML file, make default. So it's either empty or, yeah. I think that's it, right? So what'll happen now is this will build the NixOS container and stuff and get it running and actually run the tests. So this is pretty cool. So if I go to the tests here, and then I open up, what do you call it? Write that Nix. So it's actually what this does. This sets up like a router NixOS node and then a client node. Yeah, that seemed to work. Actually, sweet. Easy enough. Yes, this actually sets up a core-write configuration where you create a couple of interfaces and you advertise a prefix. You assign a prefix and you advertise it, and then you make sure that the client actually did stateless address auto configuration over the local link, which is pretty cool. So this seems to work. That's sick. All right, it's been ages since I've done a PR here, so I need to make sure I, let's see here, follow all of the procedures. Author, MD layer. Here we go. MDL, core red, TOML. Okay, let's see here. NixOS / core red. Packages formats TOML to generate TOML configuration. Okay. Go ahead and push to my fork, assuming it exists, which I believe it will, but okay. It's been a while. Sweet. Motivation. Motivation for this change. Remove bespoke JSON to TOML converter in favor of the new packages formats TOML option to generate configuration file from Nix attributes. Sweet. We did test this on Linux. It is tested via a NixOS change. I did test the execution of the binary, I suppose. Documentation's up to date. And I think this fits contributing as well. So I'll go ahead and tag a couple of folks in Finicil since you've reviewed these types of things in the past, and Finicil has worked on RFC 42. That was really easy. And we tell the bot to build it. It's failing already. Oh, okay. Cool. Easy enough. I think I also have some let's see here. Let me check my GitHub notifications. I don't think I'm logged into my work accounts, but yeah, I'll be fine. Cool. So we have some notifications in the NetAdder repo I wanted to take a look at anyway. Oh, right. So this was a discussion going on in NetAdder. So things like IP ranges and stuff, like if you want to determine if ranges overlaps, like should they have, if the zone is included, should they be different? What happens with zones? Make sure the implementation matches. Let's see here. IP range is not valid if the from and to don't match. IP prefix does not contain an IP. Yep. Plus one for me. I've been thinking on this, and I think the presence of differing zones should be enough to ensure that prefixes, ranges, IPs don't overlap. Cool. Yeah, it's a tricky thing because, for example, like if you have like a link local address, let's see here. The canonical example would be link local addresses and IPv6. Do this what we did the other day. IPAS grep p-6as, right? Grep 6 sort unique. FP80::. Yep. Link local addresses IPv6, which might be the same on different logical interfaces, but do not overlap due to the zone. Yeah, so we've actually got on my router, I've got 6 different interfaces that have the same link local address, but the zone is different. So you would say those don't overlap, right? I think that makes sense. Valid, compare, less than 0, less than 0. It's good to me. You now realize that zones are used for non-global IPv6 addresses. Yes. Yeah, exactly. For link local, specifically, that's where you have to use it. I think I showed this on stream yesterday, but for example, if I do this, let me just close this really quick. I think we might be done with the NixOS stuff for now. So for example, if I do ping 6 of this address, you get an invalid argument because there is no zone, but I can ping this address over both my 1 gig NIC and my 10 gig NIC because they're on different VLANs. So you need to specify the zone identifier, but this shows you exactly why. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tricky thing. I need to update this really quick, I think. Wikipedia article is confusing. In all operating systems mentioned above, the zone index for link local addresses actually refers to an interface, not a zone. Yes. Multiple interfaces may belong to the same zone when connected to the same switch. In practice, 2 addresses with different zone IDs may actually be equivalent and refer to the same host on the link. Yes, maybe the same host, but not necessarily the same interface. So I think that's the differentiator here. Is I think of things in terms of interfaces now versus hosts. Let's see here. So I haven't run Godoc in ages. I need to get a new copy, I think. So I'm running Godoc now. Yesterday we added, we used Jordan's GC assert tool using module mode. Okay. I don't even remember what address Godoc runs on. Is it 8080? I think it might be localhost 8080. Yeah. No. 6060. You see a spelling mistake there. A Jansen? Did I type that, or is that Oh, yep, you're right. We can fix that. Okay. I can confirm that ignores the GC assert annotations. So presumably godoc.org would as well. And package go dev would as well. Let's see here. Oh, so I think I prefer to make this part of our existing tests versus running the tool. Standard libraries never test to check the sort of stuff, either running the compiler or go tool nm. I always like just having them as part of a normal test. Okay. Is Jordan here? I wonder if you can run GC assert as let's see here. Jordan Lewis GC assert. Is this importable? GC assert. Yep, it is. Sweet. I'll fix that typo in a sec too. Sure, looks like it'll be easy enough. Can do. Make this part of our existing tests so that Go test catches it. Yeah, I see. Let me go ahead and oops. Okay. Do that. I'll rebase. Push. Anyway. Fix typo in IP set ranges. Typos. I could probably commit that directly to master. I think I have the rights to, but it just seems better to do a pull request even. Cyberpunks, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so we're gonna we're gonna use GC assert, and we're gonna basically copy the main. I'll assert. Okay. Let's just see. Assert. I had it on my clipboard, then I went away, of course. I just do this stuff all the time. What's the license here before I do anything? Is there... Oh no, Jordan, did you forget a license? Shit. I think you did. The spelling PR is already approved. Oh, okay, so business source license, yeah. Um. Hmm. Oh, no. It's okay. But here's the license header from the tool before I start importing its code. Any objections to that? Yeah, I want to make sure we get the legalese stuff out of the way first. That's important. Oh, thanks. Thanks for the approval. Yeah, I'll wait for I'll just wait for one of the other folks to merge that, but I appreciate it. I think we can review the fast IPv6 parsing now too, actually. So that'd be good. So really quick, let's go back through all of these, see where things are at. It's like this needs a rebase. So the fuzzing submodule, get submodules, all kinds of fun, huh? Uses fudging, stored in this, uses fuzzing. Corpus is stored separately in a submodule to minimize the impact on everyone else. Get submodule update in it. Submodule corpus, the fuzz function, and Josh is really good at this sort of stuff, so looks good to me with submodule, but we'll leave for Brad Fitz. BSL bullshit license. Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually not familiar with that one, so I want to make sure that things are okay, you know, before we start importing Jordan's code. Like, I think using the binary is one thing, but like as far as importing the source code directly, like I don't know. I'm not sure I know the differences, you know. I kind of want some coffee. I'm gonna grab some coffee. I think I'm just gonna grab like a shot of cold brew really quick, and I'll be back in just a sec. So, BRB. Oops. I dropped my Yeti water thing and didn't really spill. That's good. Whew. You can't use it in prod. That's what BSL is. Interesting. Yeah, I guess I should tag Jordan on this. CC Jordan A Lewis, right? I can't. Is he Jordan Lewis or Jordan? I can't remember. He's got like two different usernames just because he's that's a common name, unfortunately. Okay, so Jordan Lewis. Have to leave that alone for now. Okay, so Dave implemented fast IPv6 parsing. Sweet. Very cool. With this change, NetEditor is no longer dependent on net parse IP for its parse IP implementation. It's also 2 to 4x faster than net parse IP and allocation free. V6 plus zone addresses are still slower and require 1 allocation, presumably due to the interning, I think. So cool. Good work, Dave. No change. Each case runs in a sub benchmark, which I think implicitly resets the counters. Most likely, I suppose. I guess I'll leave that alone for now. I'll leave it unresolved though. Ready for review. Code review. Love it. Love it. Love it. Oh, what's going on? Let's see here. Ah, I did it again. I keep grabbing the Twitch panes instead of like trying to open things up. It's a pain in the neck. Huh. Let's see here. All right. Let's do this. Kosakui, welcome. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. So it looks like here we're looking for a dot or a colon to determine if it's v4, v6, or a percent for a zone. So it's trying to be an IPv6 address of the zone specifier, but the address is missing. Yeah, it seems reasonable to me. Unable to parse IP. Parse IP error. I agree with that. Tweet from evil has made things slower. Fanciful theories pushing stuff out of the instruction cache. I'm always so impressed when it comes to like these, the folks with like compiler experience. Like, oh, well, maybe it's pushing things out of the instruction cache, and it's like I have no idea. Like, this is all truly black magic to me. Like I do my best, but man, I don't know. We were having a discussion on stream yesterday, and I don't know if the same folks are around, but we were talking about like imposter syndrome and like getting like. Well, I come into your stream and I have no idea, and I'm just like, but that's the thing is we all started somewhere, right? And you have to start somewhere. And for me, I've learned a ton just by, for example, writing that intern blog post and just like talking to these folks, and then stuff like this. It's like, oh, maybe it's pushing things out of the instruction cache. Like I would never speculate about that. So it's just pretty cool. I enjoy these types of conversations and this type of learning. So. Pretty neat. Ah, did I run out of music? Oh, there we go. My friend, so I was talking to my friend about how I, been working in computers for now like 8 years. He's like, but can you make a printer work reliably? Doubt it. Yeah, printers are garbage. Printers are my personal hell. Although my brother multifunction printer scanner is pretty good even on Linux. Like I had to install like I think I had to install like a Debian package to get the scanning stuff going, but it works pretty much flawlessly otherwise. The real question is, are there any careers that don't require a ridiculous grind to get a job you actually like? That's a good question, right? Let's see here. So parse v4, parse error, IPv4 fields greater than 255. How is that possible? It's a byte, right? Or is this accumulator a UN16? Okay. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I guess thinking about like my own career grind and stuff, like my senior year, I had an internship and my senior design project and my homework and all my other shit, and it's like I spent like minimum 12 hours a day on a computer, just hacking. And I started to develop like, basically the early signs of stuff like RSI problems with my hands. And I just kept going and I hurt myself, and I had to cut back for a long time. These days, it's mostly not a problem with my ergonomic stuff. As long as I'm careful and as long as I, back off a little bit, take breaks, etc., it's not that bad. But if I'm like really, really hammering away at code, or if I, my elbow's in one position for too long, it'll get uncomfortable too. But in general, I've got things pretty much on lock these days, which is nice. Just gotta take care of yourself. It's important. It's somebody mentioned yesterday that like lifting weights is like pretty critical for programmers, and like I would absolutely agree with that statement. Like it's something everybody should give a try. It doesn't have to be super intimidating, and it's like you go to the gym and just learn the basics, like find a workout buddy or find a trainer. I mean, right now things are difficult, right? But learn the basics, do just a little bit because it makes a big difference. And honestly, weightlifting is a lot of fun. So separated field must have at least one digit. The non-final. I wonder why he changed the v4 stuff. Oh, because of these more semantic errors. Okay. I was curious why he kept changing the v4 code, because this is about v6, but it's this new parsing error type, or parsing error helper. A nit anything that returns a formatted string error should be named as such. Maybe parse IP error F, or just IP error F. You have an idea for a Twitch bot, a bot that auto answers questions using ML and also auto bans people using ML. What do you think? Sounds like fun. I'm not gonna do it, but it's really funny because I feel like everybody does the IRC bot or the Twitch bot or the Discord bot or whatever else, and that's something that's never really interested me, to be honest. Like, it's just not something I find particularly interesting. But that would be a great way for you to start your stream. You've seen it a lot, but they are lame to me. Yeah, it's just it's just your personal preference, right? Speaking of ergonomics, gotta adjust my keyboard slightly. What's pretty crazy is I've been using my Logitech mouse or my trackball for a while now. Just check this out. So my trackball here, like, it's actually starting to wear. Like, I think my hands are starting to like wear into it. Like, you can tell like the coating and stuff. I've had this for a couple of years, but I actually bought a backup because I thought I was destroying it. But isn't that wild? Anyway. Time to upgrade. Yeah, I love my trackball, though. I would upgrade to the same trackball, but the way I would make it fun is to make it use AI. The bots people make are just using the Twitch API, and that's it. I see. Yeah. Yeah, so my personal preference, I think I might have just mentioned this, I forget, but if something returns like a formatted string, like call it like IP error F, or the F indicates that like there's some kind of format string there, because like parse error, otherwise it's a little ambiguous as to what it's actually doing, I think. Zone specifier is not allowed. Trailing garbage. Yeah. Split out the zone right from the start. Yes, it's a second scan of the string, but trying to handle it, excuse me, inline makes a bunch of other inner loop conditionals more expensive and ends up being slower. This is pretty cool. I'm jealous that Dave got to write this code. I think this would have been something fun for me to try out as well. But that being said, like, writing an IPv6 string parser, it doesn't exactly sound like my idea of a good time either. You cannot have an empty zone if explicitly specified. Yeah, that's true. I feel like if you have a trailing percent sign with no zone, that would be invalid. Right. Might have leading ellipsis. If the string is greater than equal to 2, it has 2. Yes, that's true. Because you could have : 1, for example, or just : So might only be ellipsis. Yep. Yep, the unspecified address with a possible zone. Yeah. That's so weird. I guess in theory you could have the unspecified address with a zone, because that would just like, yeah, right? I mean, % ETH 0 or something. That's so weird. But I guess in theory, it's possible. It's correct. Or technically. Hex number. So loop 16 times, parsing the hex numbers followed by a colon. So we inline the hex number parsing to yield a significant performance increase. Nice. Greater than or equal to max uint 16. I think would be correct because FFFF would be 2 to the 16. Yeah. And valid, yeah. FFFF, 4 Fs. That's not 2 to the 16. No. Am I dumb? 65,535 or 536. I can't remember exactly which. Am I dumb here? Hang on. Am I being silly? 4 Fs in hex is, that's 16. That is 16 bits, yeah. See, I was interpreting this as 4 bits. I for some reason for me, like, I know hex digits in my head are BC. Yeah. The thing is, I don't know how to use BC. Like, I think we did it on stream one time and you're like, oh yeah, BC, no problem. And it's like, I can never remember how to use it. Oh, here we go. We're getting the live Stoppelberg BC advice here. Oops. And then O base equals 10, right? I base 16, FFFF. 10 is the default. That gave me 0, so that doesn't seem correct unless it wants capital. Yeah, 65535. Yeah, okay. Yep. Thanks, appreciate that. Hang on one sec. Hey, I think you're about due for a stream too. You should hop back onto it if you can too. I know for me, like, life got busy and kind of got in the way and stuff, but I definitely wanted to get back to it. But you're welcome. I only know O base, I base, but it's a good party trick. Yeah, absolutely. So I think my comment is correct there. Offset equals 0, so no digits found. Each colon separated field must have at least 1 digit. Yes, that's true. Because you either have the colon together or a single 0 in between them potentially for small blocks. Trailing IPv4, yeah, great. Embedded IPv4 address must replace the final 2 fields of the address. The final 2? Is that correct? Because, yeah, so you have 16. Yeah, okay. I guess it would be. Yeah, so an IPv6 address is 128. Yeah, so it would be the final 2 segments. 32 bytes out of a, yeah. Too many hex fields to fit. An embedded IPv4 at the end. Can make this a bit faster. See, the problem is, like, I look at this bit shifting logic and, like, I just kind of am just implicitly assuming it's correct because my mind just doesn't work that way. Like, I'm gonna look at the tests, and verify all the corner cases and stuff too. But just looking at something like this, like, it doesn't. I can never immediately intuit the intent, or it's like the hex parsing stuff. Like, I just assume this is correct. I assume that Dave probably stole this from somewhere, but it's like, yeah, I recognize the uppercase, lowercase, the ASCII to hex tricks and stuff like that. But it's like my mind does not implicitly, like, understand this. Like, and I don't know if that's just me or maybe if that's just everybody or that's like a lot of people, but must be followed by a colon and more. Colon must be followed by more characters. Look for another ellipsis. Multiple colon. Yep, you can only have one colon segment. Must consume the entire string. Didn't parse enough to expand the ellipsis, which would be, yeah, with zeros. Yep. colon must expand to at least one field of zeros. Yeah, I guess technically you could have a an address where you have like only one zero segment, but you do colon there, even though it would be basically just the same thing to do colon zero colon. I feel like I would only ever use colon to write it out if there were two segments. So for example, like FD9E1. I want to get my /48 tattooed on myself still pretty bad. I'll probably end up doing that. But so for example, if I were to do A, B, C, D, or if I were to do A, B, C, it's like, I guess you could do that, right? I mean, that would just be, it's equivalent to, yeah, I mean, that's weird. Or you could do like B, C, D, even though it's just one segment of zeros. That's strange. Oh, I'm getting this wrong, aren't I? Yeah, I actually would have to do one more. There we go. Yeah, it's weird, but like, I guess this is like, would technically be valid, right? Yeah. Yeah, see, the ping utility just parses it out as the colon zero there. Like, I would never write a v6 address that way. If I were writing one down, I would never do colon for one segment. But I suppose it's valid, so that's probably a case that we could look at here, actually. Adding to the tests as well. Yeah, I do colon 1 for my router. This is router on the infrastructure LAN, the raw, no VLAN stuff, but I've also got a couple of different VLANs here. So I've got like VLAN 2 for the lab. Oops. 2 for the lab, or I think like 10 is for guest network and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway. So the tests here, oh, invalid. Yeah, I feel like we should have a test for the single segment colon. Elided fields in the middle, elided fields at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is, yes, this is 6 segments, but you could add one more. So actually, let's see here. Should add a test case for something like 2001 deviate A, B, C, D, E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Or some, and weird edge cases that would suggest that as the test file, maybe. Yeah, that's what I was gonna try to do, but because the test fixtures are not part of this diff, GitHub won't let me. So I'm just gonna add it up here. Weird edge cases like a single block of zeros being compressed to colon or trailing segments like that. That's right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, colon. Yeah. So this would normally just be like an F or something, but yeah, having the colon for a single segment. Or 2001 deviates colon A, B, C, D, E. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So I think those addresses are both technically valid, but that's just, it's strange. That's a strange syntax. Like I said, I would actually never write it that way, but yeah, GitHub is, see, like for example, right now I just can't comment on anything that's not part of the PR, which is unfortunate. I really do like Garrett, for example. Like, I know Garrett has more of a learning curve, but it actually is really nice, especially for big reviews and stuff. And the fact that you can do a review on individual patch sets and stuff and like check out all those things really easily is just really, really nice. So the GitHub flow is a bit lacking in that regard, Any more invalid IPs? Let's see. Yeah, some IP address parsers will accept like a single number in big endian format. Like that's crazy to me. Like, you know, a lot of these syntaxes are so just arcane and old and weird, and it's like I didn't even know these existed. Or stuff like the octal or like hex IPv4. It's like what the hell? Like what the hell were they thinking? You know, like that doesn't make any sense. You know, people complain about IPv6, but it's like there has been much worse. Like I would argue both of these are worse than IPv6. I mean, the hex v4, I guess maybe not. You know, it's kind of the same thing, but octal v4 or like this weird class A stuff, like that's horrible. You know. Unfortunately, I don't have any more ideas. So look at optimized way, use a global sync. Yep. It's pretty annoying how when you're writing benchmarks, the Go compiler will like optimize stuff away, so you have to like have the global var syncs and stuff. That makes things a little more of a pain in the neck. Standard parse IP. Okay, so this is standard library versus our intern package and stuff. Yeah. Waka Flocka Kid 1, welcome to the stream and thank you for the follow. Nice username. Looks awesome overall. Just a few nits and questions. Yeah, I'm picky about function naming. Oh. Add a test case for something like test cases for and in weird edge cases like a single block of zeros. Yeah. I feel like the sentence doesn't really read properly. My brain's a little you know. Might have to switch to some Stardew Valley in a little bit here. We'll see. On stream, we talked about weird edge cases, like a single block of zero being compressed to or trailing segments. Yeah, that makes a little more sense. A little more context there, right? This is pretty cool. Anything else? Yeah, there's the licensing stuff. I already looked at this. Yeah, we want to make sure that there are different zones, they don't overlap. Uh-oh. I saw one of my friends is in chat today. He's been pretty quiet. I wonder if he got distracted on a work call or something. Normally, I've got some hecklers by now, but it looks like people are just chilling. I'm good with that too. Let's see. I think we've already looked at most of these issues. Which forms of IP addresses support, whichever one the standard library uses. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is something we realized in the standard library. So for example, like you could specify a really big string, like with a whole bunch of leading zeros, and the net parse IP would handle it. But probably should reject that because that doesn't really make any sense. You know, like it's got to be like this looks like a pretty clearly adversarial input, right? And apparently in Linux there's a limit for the size of address strings or something. This is already done, isn't it? I thought the... Oh, no, it's not main yet. Yeah, I need to change my branch names from master to main too. That's something I've been meaning to do. I'm just I need to get on that. Especially for projects like Corrad and stuff. Let's see here. There are a couple of different, let's see here, Unmap and Raw. So something that's always annoying me about the standard library is the IPv4 mapped IPv6 stuff. So for example, if you do net parse IP or like net IPv4, it will give you the 16-byte representation by default, which I think is really silly. Like, apparently that was a transition mechanism at one point intended so that like, you know, you would specify addresses in that format and then it would be transported over the network using that format and stuff. But like in reality, that transition mechanism has not really happened. And what we've had instead is just dual stack, right? Where you run v4 and v6 separately and don't really bother with transition mechanisms. And you get things like happy eyeballs, so it'll try v6 first. So the whole standard library stuff with the v4 mapped v6 has just been a monster pain. And in my opinion, I would say just don't even bother supporting it anymore. But I can't think of any like valid applications that would really need it. But or it's like you can implement it yourself in terms of v6 addresses with like a helper or something. I guess I could follow up on this. This is about expanding v4. Apologies for the delay. If you like to send a PR with, let's see here. That seems good to me. We can leave this issue open. Can leave this issue open. I'll wait until you remove the warning in the README in case there are any internal changes. Yeah, so it seems good to me. We recently landed a big change to move to Uint64s internally, but I don't suspect there... and I don't suspect... Can you all see that? Yeah. There will be a ton more churn at this point as far as the internal structure goes. Issue open and close it when your PR is merged. So I'll shepherd this along a little bit. Something we talked about a while ago is like if you have like a var IP net adder IP, like should this be the unspecified address and for which family? But we haven't. Yeah. It's been 8-ish months, and I personally haven't run into a need for this. Any further thoughts on the matter? Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna take 5 really quick. I'm gonna go get some more water and stuff, and just do just a couple things around the house. But I will take 5, and I think we'll come back and we might do a little bit more code, or possibly switch over to some games. We'll see. So, back soon. Okay, we're back. Apex, no Apex. Stardew Valley, if anything. It's a very fun game. I'm like halfway through summer. I think this is like my 3rd playthrough or something. So it is a very good game. If you like things like Harvest Moon or Animal Crossing, it's great. StarCraft 2, no, Stardew Valley. So it is a very good game. And it just got a 1.5 update. So yeah, this game is amazing. Oh, you know what it is. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I love this game. Let's see. Yeah, I got a couple. I've gotten. I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten bugs for people's UPSs reporting the wrong date or a date in a weird format and stuff, and then as a result, let's see here. So it says 1980. Yeah, like I can't tell you how many bugs I've fixed with date parsing in this stupid library. Like it's awful. I just don't even want to deal with it anymore. My UPSs report normal dates. Why isn't anybody else's? Let's see here. PC access. And see 2016 1129. That one's probably about due for replacement actually, but yeah. Anyway, I try. I do my best. Let's see. I'm curious if there's anything else we want to work on here. I feel like things are mostly in good shape at this point, though, you know? Yeah, they'll get merged. GC cert. Can't really help with that. Is there anything else I really want to get done today? That's the question, right? Because Hey, Codephobia, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Oh, nice emote. I like that. Code Go Love. Or Code Phobe. Yeah, Code Go Love. Oh, okay, nice. That's great. Yeah, I've got a couple little. I have a friend who's an artist, and I wanted to like have her make like nice emotes for me. But she's busy, so I drew my own. And they're bad on purpose. But yeah, I will. I especially want like an air not equals nil. But yeah, I should get some more. Yeah, they look great. Yeah, I don't know if great or but they got a certain charm, you know. I think it would be pretty funny to keep them though as like a tier 2 or something. But I don't really care. I'm not here for the money or anything. Like any sub money I get is just gonna go to Dominic anyway. So Dominic for his static check stuff. That's basically how I'm funding this. So pretty cool. Coffee is missing as well. Yeah, that's true. I could go for some coffee. I think what I need to do is like I need to get like a green screen and get some action shots of me like complaining about something. Like that's what a lot of streamers have is like the faces, you know. But is there anything else? Yeah, the fuzz corpus, the adder corpus. People. Is there anything else that I suppose I could bump. I should wait until that lands. Whenever the fast IPv6 parsing lands, I should bump my core rad checkout and do a beta there probably. I think we're probably ready for that. I mean, it's kind of funny because I built this website like ages ago, and we're at the point now where like we're basically ready for beta and stuff. Like this runs my home network and it's basically flawless. So all I need to do is just like release a beta and try and drum up more interest. Because yeah, I wrote a blog in February 2020. What version was it then? Beta 113 plus. Yeah. It's in good shape though. It works well. All I need to do is just publicize a bit more, I suppose. So what other was there something I wanted to do? I know I opened my home lab repo earlier. Was there something I wanted to do? I can't remember, honestly. Probably done with net editor for the day. So I updated the module upstream, but it doesn't actually have any impact on my configuration here. I suppose I could try and fix this jankery, my to-do here. To-do, Nixify, templating. Yeah. I've got this Go program here that generates my network inventory, basically. And it's kind of a mess, but it seems to work. Like, I basically create, like, a list of, like, you know, hosts I care about and stuff, and their IPs and their MACs, and then that's all used to convert, that's all used to, like, generate the v6 addresses based on, like, the prefix and the suffix with the MAC address and everything. WireGuard peers, stuff like that. Yeah, I need to work on this a bit more, but it's like good enough where it's one of those things where if I keep putting in the effort, like I'm not really saving myself that much time anymore, you know. Like I think the biggest next thing I could do is get my Unify stuff under Terraform and get my dynamic DNS under Terraform. Those are both good things I should do, but I have not really bothered at the moment. Yeah. My current V6/56, gotta change this once in a while because for some reason Charter will delegate a /56 to me and then change it. And I have no idea why, because in theory, like, you know, they've got their /32s and whatever else, so it's not like they're hurting for address space. So they could give every customer a 56 forever and never change it and still never run out. So I have absolutely no idea why they would change the 56. Very strange. Yep, and then my /48 for my ULAs. I want to get this tattoo. I should do it. It's such a mad thing to do. It really is. Do they derive your V6 from your V4 somehow? Maybe. I don't know. That's I guess it's possible, but let's see here. So the current WAN V4 in the inventory is 24, 247, 144, 69. And then my V6 prefix is 78759. So these two, I've seen these two change really, but the 32 remains the same. So not that I can tell, but hard to say. Couldn't tell you for sure, I suppose. To do this is a hack. Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty good at making hacks. Not an obvious derivation, but who knows? Yeah, that's exactly it. It's too hard to say, really. Yeah, this is just a hacky little thing I put together that just generates a JSON file, and then I use this basically to feed my inventory for all my stuff, and this works pretty well, you know. For better or worse, it does the job. For the systems I really care about being in DNS and such and getting into all my configurations. And then I use this to feed things like my core DNS configuration. Like core DNS spits out a bunch of records in the host file, you know, V4, V6, individual subdomains, stuff like that. My hosts and my servers and my infrastructure, as well as the router itself. The DHCP, any of the leases that I care about are added up here. Just iterate over the network interfaces and create my V6 advertisements here. I think I got a little bit with NF tables. So I've got things like, you know, metered lands. Oh, these are the lands that are allowed to access metered interfaces. So just my 10 gig and just my my physical LAN. And then I've got my LTE backup and stuff like that. So yeah, this works pretty well, but there's more I could do. So we're coming up on a little less than 3 hours, and I'm kind of losing steam for coding, but we could play some games. You know, we could give that a shot. Why not, right? Let me shut off Spotify, and let's give this a shot. You know. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to sitting mode. Woo. Oops. I threw my plastic mat and it hit the beer shelf. I think things are okay. Yeah. I think we're gonna do some Stardew Valley. I've been playing that on my own, and I think it would just be kind of fun. Maybe something a little chill on stream and stuff. So let's see here. Open RCT. Yeah, I don't know if I have a scene for this, but we can figure it out. So I think probably, yeah. All right, Steam. So I have no idea how this is going to work. So first of all, I think I want to turn off the banner, but I'm going to need to change the, yeah. You've only played it on Android, not that many hours. Yeah, it's a great game. So let's see. I think probably what I should do here is copy. Oh. Uh-oh. I'm afraid to mess with my OBS scenes too much. Like, they're under version control, but I suspect I should probably just temporarily hide that element. Yeah, that'll work. Change the stream category. Yeah, I will. Yeah. I'm gonna turn on the audio here. If this blasts you all, I apologize. It should be pretty quiet though. I might have to tweak it a little bit, but yeah, let's change the category really quick. Category Stardew Valley. Coding done. Done coding for the day. Let's play some Stardew Valley. Oh shoot, I forgot to plug in my controller beforehand too. That might be a problem. Playing games on the Kinesis is not great. So that's that could be a difficult thing. So I like playing games with the controller in general because it's just easier in my hands. Even if it's less. Okay, how about now? There we go. Right? Is that good to go? It looks good on my end now. I'm seeing OBS, the meters again. Yeah, so the problem is every time you plug in the DualShock 4, it's got this headphone jack and stuff here. So for some reason, Linux changes by default to that. And I could have sworn I had it like blacklisted, but apparently I do not. Anyway. Good stuff. Let's give this a go. I think I might need to move my portrait here as well, because I'll probably be in the way of something. Oops. Okay. So first, let's get in game and let's figure out the settings and stuff. So I have my old file. This is from a couple of years ago where I have 106 hours. But yeah, so now I started a new one, something different, you know. Let's see here. So everything seems mostly for whatever reason right now. With the DualShock 4, if I try and use the D-pad at all, it doesn't seem to work too well, which is a nuisance. So let's see here. Window borderless VSync. Maybe make the UI scale a bit bigger. Yeah. I don't usually play on this computer. I usually play on my home theater PC, which is Windows in the living room. So this is something different, you know. And also the stream's only 30 FPS, but it shouldn't matter for Stardew Valley, of all things. Yeah, I think we are good to go, I believe. One sec. I've got a couple friends who are playing this too, so I'm letting them know. All right, let's do it. So my friend always calls his farm Big Farm Farm, so I decided to do Small Farm Farm this time to mess with him a little bit, you know. But all right, let's do it. Oh man, yeah, that's right. It stormed, so I got a bunch of stuff I got to do. I got like batteries and all that goodness. Ah. I named my cat after my real life cat, who's also gray and white. Although it's my parents' cat, but he's kind of my cat too. Yeah, let's see here. Gathering data on the correlation levels between soil alkalinity and crop fructose levels. Need a fresh melon. Okay. Melons sell for a lot. It's going to be a hard sell for me, but I'm making coffee in game. I found coffee stuff. Is this using Proton? No, actually, this is native. So I actually assumed it was going to be Proton as well, but this natively supports Linux now. I don't know when that happened. Probably over the past couple of years, but it is playing natively, which is pretty cool. I'm getting maybe just a little like screen tearing and stuff. I don't know if you all can see that too, probably, but that's just the kind of par for the course when it comes to like Linux stuff, you know. So is what it is. I've been really impressed with Proton in general. Like I'm able to play things like Among Us with friends, or Duck Game is another one I was playing. So a lot of that stuff seems to work pretty damn well. Actually, I'm pretty impressed. You know, like all the trash, put away the refined quartz. Yeah, I'm getting some tearing, especially up in the upper third or something. I've got VSync on though, I think. I mean, you know, Linux things, right? But you play Age of Empires 2 with Proton? Yeah, you know, actually, I just tried I tried Definitive with Proton, and I could get into like games with computers, but if I tried to play multiplayer with friends, like it wouldn't work at all. Like I was completely unable to play multiplayer. And I have absolutely no idea why. But yeah, this is VSync, so I don't know. I apologize if there's any kind of like tears or stuff that are distracting. I'll do what I can, I suppose, but should probably plant some more coffee. Well, I've only got 10 days is the problem. So if I plant more coffee beans, I've only got 8 days. You need to change a DDL. Is DDL like some kind of like Steam configuration file or something? Or is it like the is like a X Windows thing or something like that? Because I actually was using Wayland for a while in this session, but the problem is with streaming is that you can't use Wayland, at least not easily yet. So Windows DDL. Oh. Yeah, you can't use Wayland easily yet with streaming, so I had to switch back to X Windows, and my experience has been a little worse ever since then, you know. But let's see. I want to put away. I don't remember what I had for the community center. I need to check the list. It's been a few days since I played, but so I missed green beans. They grew like one day too slow, so I missed getting the greenhouse in 1 year, but it is what it is. Fish farmer. So I got to figure out how to get sturgeon. I've been trying to play this. I haven't played in a couple years, so not DDL, DLL. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't played this in a couple of years, so things like the sturgeon and sturgeon farming is all new to me, actually. So I'm trying not to look up spoilers. So ideally I will figure things out on my own, but rare crops. I want to save the sweet gemberry for now, but did I already... The summer crop bundle's already done, right? Yeah, okay. So I can sell... Put away the batteries. Yeah, I'm finally getting the house upgrade. That'll be nice. So I can actually cook stuff. I can start making sashimi, which makes your life way easier. Yeah, 740. The Go community is so cute. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to play games on stream very often, but everyone plays different games. Yeah. I'm not much of a... I'm a pretty casual gamer. Like, I used to play more stuff when I was younger and stuff. Like, I really like Team Fortress 2 and stuff like that, but these days I play pretty much just casual games that I can kind of like hop in and hop out of. Like, I'm not really interested in a lot of the competitive stuff. I have fun playing like Among Us, or I have fun playing Fall Guys, but it's like anything hyper competitive like your Counter Strikes and such, I'm just not interested in. Your StarCraft. Like, I like Age of Empires, but I'm not good at it. You know, stuff like that too. A Go Among Us proximity chat, that can be pretty fun. That's a good fun project. Yeah, it seems like the proximity stuff is pretty damn cool. I don't know a whole lot about that. I wonder if it would work on Linux. There's one in Node. Really? Nice. But it's buggy. Gotcha. Yeah, got some fish starting to build up. Of course, it'll work on Linux if you write it in Go. Yeah. I don't know if I'm motivated enough to do that. Find me a Go Opus codec thingy. Gotcha. Yeah, it sounds like something you could probably do with like Seago, right? I need to get this geode cracked open. I wanted to upgrade. You need 10,000 for gold tools, so I don't think I can upgrade anything immediately. Steel hoe. Yeah, I'm at steel everything, and then the gold watering can so far. So I'm doing pretty good as far as that all goes. I guess at this point I could go to the mines and get some more coal. Am I short on coal still? Yeah, I need more coal. Oh, I forgot to check the luck stuff. I should do that. Beautiful sunny day tomorrow. Fortune teller. Neutral. Okay. Well, I suppose I could go for it. I did get the mine carts, thankfully, so that's a little easier now. And since I've got all of the, what do you call it? Oh, what the heck? The window got small. I guess, I don't know if it normally does that on my TV. I'm not usually playing this at 4K, I don't think. Let's go to the mines. Now it's big again. Weird. Let's go to level, like, 60-ish. Look for coal. You have 71s this season for Apex? No kidding, that's awesome. I briefly played, what do you call it? My friends and I actually played the co-op mode of Fortnite. We didn't really play Battle Royale, but we played the co-op, and that was pretty fun, actually. Sweet. More money. What's in here? Oh. Haven't had friends who game for a decade. Yeah, It's something I do with like a lot of my college buddies. A couple of my adult friends game, but not many. But a lot of my college friends still do, and like I don't game that much, but yeah, just on occasion. Nice. All honesty, I have kids. I don't have friends anymore. Yeah, that's a little tougher too, right? I mean, you don't have to like give up your whole life, but it's definitely a big commitment. It's a little bit of tearing and stuff in here. That's a nuisance. I don't know if that's like a combination of OBS running or what, but like since I'm using all the CPU encoding stuff, it's possible. Yeah, not great. I kind of want to build like a new, I want to build a new home theater PC slash like, you know, game streaming PC if I actually wanted to do it, but then I wouldn't have my mic set up and stuff, so that would be tough too. Oh, nice music. Damn slimes. That's when you make friends with your kids' friends' parents. Yeah, it's true. That's actually like my parents. There was a guy I met in like kindergarten basically, and we're still friends, and like our parents are still friends and everything, you know. So it's funny how that goes. Come on, give me some artifacts and stuff. Looking for the goods, man. Oh, not the fishing pole. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of funny because like there's a lot of folks I went to like high school with, for example, that like I'll just, you know, for better or worse, like never really speak to them again, and that's kind of a bummer. Last year would have been my 10 years out of high school, and I would have liked to go to the reunion actually, but I was unable due to a prior trip arrangement, so I had to be traveling. So I figure maybe the 15 or the 20 if we do one of those. I don't know. Yeah, I can't tell if there's tearing in the OBS preview. Maybe there is. It's a bit of a nuisance, but nothing I can do today. I just figured I would try this out and see how it goes. Like, I'm just going to be messing around at home anyway, so... Looks fine for you. Gotcha. So maybe it is just like a Linux, X Windows, whatever thing. Yeah, I hope Wayland becomes a thing and you get all the same functionality. Like, stuff like screen sharing, you know? Like, I know that from a security perspective, the way X does it with the shared memory is pretty bad. But I guess there's projects like, what's it called? Pipewire and stuff. They're supposed to make these things easier. You don't see tearing, but you do see a bunch of artifacts in the black parts. Really? Okay, that could be the video encoding, though, too, yeah. Because I'm not seeing that, but I know, like, the video encoders, like, will do little stuff like that. Yeah, I get a bit of tearing, mostly the upper third. Like, it's not awful, but especially when I'm, like, walking continuously, you can really tell. Should rearrange my tools so I don't have to keep doing that. There we go. Looks like encoding since your bitrate is definitely high enough. Yeah, I've got I'm doing 6,000 and 1080, and then but I think I'm using mostly the stock settings. I haven't really tweaked much. I am using the CPU encoder because I've got an AMD workstation GPU actually, but I don't believe that OBS can use those yet, which is a nuisance. Something about the VA API stuff. I don't remember if it was like supported or not. I know most people on Windows just get NVEnc and call it good. I wonder if that works on Linux even, but also I don't really want to buy NVIDIA GPUs for Linux. I've had enough bad experiences. Of course, if I weren't running LTS, I could be running a newer kernel and then probably have better experience too, but is there any staircase? Not yet. Is what it is. Do I have any bombs? I don't think I do. Get out of here. There we go. Oh, great. I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, the NVIDIA encoder is supposed to be pretty decent. Yeah, I think it's pretty much like kind of like your gold standard for all that stuff. Shoot, already 410. I did not get as much coal as I wanted to, but I guess I should probably go... Can I? No. The blacksmith closes at 4, I think. It does. Damn it. Probably wait for the next wave of cards to purchase a new one. Currently sitting on a 1060. Yeah, I've got my home theater PC has a 1050 Ti, I think, and I really want to go up to like a you know, a 3000 or like an AMD something, but I just have not yet because that stuff's all expensive. What do you do all day? Snoop around in your room. Dig for treasure. Oh, that's right, you can buy ice cream. You only play FTL and StarCraft 2 though, so it's not really necessary. I might buy one for my sister instead. That's kind of where I'm at too. Like, none of the games I play require a good GPU, really. Like, there's no real point, you know? There we go. The girls love men who dig for treasure all day. Yeah, exactly. I bet he would like fish. I don't really have any fish though at the moment. I think it said there was going to be like a bunch of shit on the beach. I should go check that out too. Oh, I just realized my panel's covering up the energy meters and stuff, but you're not missing out. I don't have a green screen, so it doesn't matter really that much anyway. You know. I'll probably end up getting a green screen at some point, but since I so rarely stream games, it just doesn't really matter, you know. It'd be nice to get one of the Elgato ones that like, oh, really? It'd be nice to get one of the Elgato green screens. I've already got that. Throw that away. It'd be nice to get one of the Elgato green screens because they have the ones that are like portable and they fold up behind you, so I could like put it up and put it down. Otherwise, you want to like do it for the ceiling. Maybe if you pile up your whiskey bottles in the back, it's green enough. Yeah, true. I do have a lot of whiskey. I've got a pretty serious collection. Not as serious as some of my friends, but smell like grass. So I've got friends who have way too many, like more than they can possibly ever get through. Not sure how many green. Yeah, my Lafroigs would be green mostly, I think. But like other than that, a lot of my bourbon bottles are brown and stuff, or clear. Time to pass out at 1:30 p.m. Appreciate the stream. Have a wonderful day. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, take care. Have a good nap or sleep, I suppose. Enjoy. Let's see. Get some fiber. Could use. Oh shoot, inventory's full. That's right. Need to go get rid of a bunch of stuff. Oh, you know, I guess I wanted to walk back through town, but I could have taken the minecarts otherwise. Yeah, this is weird. I feel like on my TV, I don't normally see this like letterboxed like this. This is that's unusual. Anyway, can sell a lot of this stuff. Diamonds, yep. Ship it. Warp totem. I think I'm saving a lot of these things though for resources too. Keep the seeds. I don't really need the carrots anymore. I've got enough salmon berries where it doesn't really matter. Keep the clay. Wood, stone. Let's see. Need to go do the geodes. Keep the warp totem for now. Could do geodes in the morning, I suppose. Get rid of the slime. Hey, let's go. Blueberry jelly. Make that money. If you turn your stuff into jam or jelly, or you know, pickled vegetables or jelly, you end up making more money off of it. So it's usually worth the bit of time commitment to do so. Like, I'm not really in a hurry. Let's chop some trees, I suppose. Got a ton, so. Oh, I see my categories still have like engineering, programming, software development, as well as all the Stardew categories. Funny. Not a big deal, I suppose. I would have completely just forgotten to update my game, like if nobody had said anything, you know? I think we accomplished a lot today, though. It feels good. Got the blog post done. Got, you know, a couple code reviews in, stuff like that. Fixed up that NixOS module. You know, it's good. Feels like a productive day, productive use of time. And I like that, you know. It's one of the things about being on vacation right now during COVID and stuff is like there's just not much going on. And it's kind of, if I'm not busy like doing something or working towards something, then I find myself often kind of unhappy, you know. And I'm sure others can relate to that too. But it's just good to get some stuff done. And early in the day, I was able to work out. I was able to go run some errands. That was nice. I still wish I could lift weights. That's the one thing I really, really miss from my surgery is that I can't lift weights still. Probably for another, well, it's been about 3 weeks now, so hopefully I'm halfway back. But as soon as I can lift weights again, I'm going to be going hard on that. The camera angle's still not quite right. I can tell it's still a little too high. Oh well. You can't see my Four Roses shirt anymore. Do love me some whiskey. Should put away this. Put away all this. Got some more jam ready. I suppose what I could do is like start these all in the same cycle instead of having to keep going back and forth, but once I have like a shed for storing all of these, I'll do that. I need to learn how to make kegs so I can get, well, beer first of all, but also the make wine, because wine gives you even more money than jelly does. Crop research, melon. Oh, gold bar. Yeah, I totally forgot. Beautiful sunny day. Okay. Oh, I missed birthdays. I'm pretty bad about that too. Yeah. Good stuff. Oh, level 8 mining. Okay, mega bombs. Sure. Oh, that's weird. Look at the... Oh. For a sec, you could see like a section of the screen on the right that was like a different like hue. That was strange, but... Cool. Could do some tool upgrades. I've got the money now. What else do I want to upgrade at this point? I guess probably the hoe, maybe? Would be pretty useful. Storm. Okay, so I could do the watering can, but the watering can's already gold, so... Maki roll. Oh, I could go for some sushi. Spirits are very happy. Okay. Yeah, we've got a couple local sushi places that are actually pretty good, and I think I can finally start eating more regular foods again. So I'm pretty excited about that too. That will be very nice. A few pieces of garbage. Put that away for now. I feel like I could just directly sell the peppers. It's like I've got so many berries and stuff I can, you know, juice or whatever. It doesn't even matter at this point. I will have a very hard time keeping up, so... It's always hard to make sure you don't miss a spot when you're doing these big grids. Not that I have that many plants yet, but later on in the game especially. Then you get all the sprinklers and stuff, and it doesn't really matter either. I did get the sprinkler recipes, so I can actually make them now, but the problem is that I need, I think I need more coal to keep smelting bars and stuff, so that's why I wanted to go to the mines. I still have less than I want, but doesn't really matter either way. That's right. Turn this into wood. Put away the rest, and then I can go upgrade my tools. That'd be good. I see you were consistent with the watering pattern. Yeah. Well, it's like if with the 3x3, yeah, it ends up being just most efficient just to go and like do it in a few spots. So I try to stick with it, you know. But if I'm doing it the same way as previously, then I'm not doing that on purpose. I'm just doing it whichever way seems like logical, you know. I want to upgrade a tool, so let's take some gold bars and I guess the pick. I mean, the pick is mostly fine as is. I feel like the hoe would almost be more useful because then I could do more crops more quickly, but I also don't use it that often. But I'm using it more in the mines too. Maybe do the hoe today and then the pick soon, so I could go to the mines today because I've got the luck thing. Seems like a useful use of time. Go ahead and grab that. Oh. To the town, not the mines. Need to talk to the old blacksmith. Reopens his house. Go ahead and loot the trash can. You never know what you'll find. The villagers do not like when you do it, but there's nothing stopping you. What year are you in? I am in year 1 still. So I actually just started this playthrough like about a week ago, and I've been going pretty slow just to like, you know, basically if I'm bored and I've already accomplished stuff for the day, I'm kind of like treating myself just to like a little bit, and that way it'll last longer too. Because when I first got this game, I would play it for like, God, like 8 hours at a time, you know, and I don't want to do that anymore. Come on, prismatic shard. I think that's a new one actually. Opal, sweet. Yep, can donate that. Can sell that. Upgrade. Upgrade. Yeah, I feel like the hoe and then the pick in a couple days, and then it'll probably be good. So let's do that. Okay. Go to the mines. Now I can't dig right now, but I can still keep finding the coal sprites and stuff. That's what I want. Let's go to 50 this time. Need more coal. Oops, totally passed that. Steal the torch too. I bet if I upgrade the picks, I could probably break these ores in one shot. That would be kind of nice, but it's not like it's taking me that long anyway either. Yeah, I'll probably play through like a few days of this and then like wrap it up around like 4 hours of streaming again like we did yesterday. I think that's probably usually a good mark for me, and I can go eat some dinner and do whatever else and just chill out tonight. But we got a good amount done. Feels pretty good, you know? I feel like I kind of want to start a new side project. I haven't decided what yet though. Like, a lot of the stuff, the thing is like a lot of my needs are currently met, and I don't have a lot of like the smart home type stuff that I'm going to want to play with in the future as well yet. So, but whenever I do, that'll be a lot of fun. I know there's a lot of stuff with like, what is it, like Z-Wave versus like Zigbee and stuff, and these are different standards with different ecosystems and like all this crap, and I'm going to need to do all that research and figure out what it is that I really want. Get out of here. I already find the staircase? I did not. Oh shit, we got bats coming. Get out of there. Yeah, playing this at full res, you can actually see the whole room and stuff. That's pretty nice. I should experiment with this on my TV. I think it might be set to 1080 on my TV for some reason, even though the TV is 4K as well. Maybe the Windows scaling stuff. Here we go. I've got to say, I'm pretty happy with the way that Valve has been putting all kinds of effort into Linux. So things like, you know, controllers and everything all just work just fine with Steam. And like, you know, this game is native on Linux, which is awesome. And the cloud save stuff works fine. You know, it's a lot better experience than it used to be. And I appreciate that. I feel like I'm still always going to have one Windows PC for games and for a few programs. But like otherwise, everything else I have is all Linux these days. I know lots of people get by with like MacBooks and stuff, but I don't really see the point when I'm deploying to Linux, and Linux works well for me. Nice. My last Windows computer ran 2000. Nice. Yeah, my theater PC, I built it with 7 and put 10 on it, but I'll keep it up to date just for a few things. But you know, I use it mostly just for consuming media. But even then, I've got a Chromecast that I use for almost everything. The theater PC is useful if you need like some esoteric browser website, or you know, you're playing a game or whatever else. But it's not. I don't even have to use it every day. You know, because stuff like, you know, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, Twitch, all of that works completely fine with the Chromecast. You know. The Twitch on Chromecast is kind of interesting actually, because for whatever reason it doesn't work with raids, which is, I guess, whatever. But also I will notice that if you leave the video quality set to auto, you'll get video stutters, and you need to like set it to like 1080p 60 or whatever the streamer is broadcasting. Because like I've got enough bandwidth, but the auto quality stuff seems to just not work very well. Or provides like an inconsistent playback experience, which is really, really annoying. Because you'll get the audio just fine, but the video will just stutter and jump. And I looked it up, and it seems like, you know, the way people fix it is just by changing it off auto. So I wonder why that is the case. Oh, the ghost fish. How silly. I think in general, though, like the Chromecast is like a great device, and like I tell people to buy them all the time. And I guess the new one with the Google TV stuff is also pretty nice. I do not own one, but my brother got it, and he says that it's nice having like a remote and all that. Is this Age of Empires? Hello, Eric the Great. This is Age of Empires. We are the... I don't remember the race of people in this game or whatever. You have a Fire TV Cube, it's been great as well. Nice. Yeah, I've never bought into the Amazon ecosystem. I was already pretty entrenched with the Google stuff. Like, I've had a Chromecast for years and years, now the Google Home stuff too. I'm sure the Amazon stuff is also great as far as like media playback goes. Oops. Hey, Eric the Great 12, you're gonna need to change your name color. Light green is mine. I got dibs. Get out of here. Give me your coal. There we go. Oh, I got a ring. Magnet ring. Nice. It's not the big one, though. It's just the regular. That's sad. I want the big rings. Although, you might have to craft those. I don't exactly remember how that works. 450, huh? Okay. Oh, found it already. Found the exit. Just need to keep track of the time, or else I'll get stuck in here. But I do have the totem, so I can warp out if I really run into problems, but... How easy is this game? Pretty easy. Like, honestly, you take it at your own pace and you do whatever you want to do. Like, there is a time in the game where, like, it will judge you based on your progress, is basically all I'll say about it. But you can take it completely at your own pace. Is it self-explaining or do you need to read a lot to play? I think my first playthrough, I used the wiki a lot just to, like, learn about stuff, but it's pretty self-explanatory. But ultimately, this time around, I'm trying not to use the wiki because I want to just avoid the spoilers for the update stuff and just be surprised. But it's, I would say that, you know, as far as like the gameplay goes, it's pretty straightforward. It explains things pretty well. The only things you might miss out on by not looking stuff up is like some of the really subtle things or like the way certain things interact. But in general, the game does a good job of explaining it. You just have to get used to like basically playing against the clock. Like it's 6:20 p.m. So it's like I need to start getting back to my place because if I stay out here until 2 a.m., I pass out and lose my stuff, which is a nuisance, as you might imagine. Hey, Eric, no side channel messaging. That's not cool, man. Nice. Let's go. Sell the fish. Sell. Oh, shit. I need to donate that. Damn it. Sell. Oh, I need to go see the blacksmith anyway. Yeah, if you like games like Harvest Moon or Animal Crossing or that sort of stuff, like you will love this game. It is very good. And also it has a much better story than either of those games too. Like the characters actually have some depth and like there are things that will surprise you. Um and the game just has some like really cool themes. So I love this game. And I am very happy to be playing it again. I just wanted to give myself time because I played it a couple years ago, like a lot, and I wanted to give myself time to like forget things because coming back to a game with like a more fresh perspective is just really entertaining for me. Geodes, gotta get rid of those. Probably make a bunch of sprinklers now. I'm in better shape for that. Put the ring away. Yep. Chop down this tree. Oh, there we go. What's going on? Nice. My brothers and I are starting another we do like a workout bet. Like we did it a couple years ago and then we did not do it this year and then COVID just kind of messed stuff up anyway, but holding each other accountable, like you have to work out 4 times a week or you Venmo the other two people. I have 2 younger brothers. You Venmo each of them $5 to go buy a beer. So that's the rule. You got to work out 4 times a week or you spend $10. So, and it works pretty good for us. I've been on the workout train for a few months again anyway, so I'm feeling good about that. But it's good to keep yourself accountable, you know. That's always very yeah, for me I do better with like a goal in mind or like like a punishment a little bit, I guess in this case. It's kind of funny. Yeah, out of energy, so I guess I can go grab. Got the mushroom cave. I suppose I should go check out. Oh, nice purple. The purples are worth more money. It's also worth noting this game is on consoles too, but right now the PC is the only one with the latest update. So I play on PC, but I play with a controller because I just like controllers, you know. Pet the cat. Tomorrow's gonna storm. That's right. Achievement unlocked. Moving up. Cool. All right. Got the bigger room. Got the kitchen. Another storm, huh? Spirits are very displeased, so bad day for the mines. The dwarf's birthday. Right, yeah, I can start putting stuff in here. Start putting like fish in there and cook. So I can go get the fish out of the chest. Let's go. Trying to grow a bunch of coffee before the summer ends because then the plants can't survive anymore. But next year I will have a ton. Be ready to go. Be all good. Got the ancient fruit. Sweet. I'm saving those for now. I don't exactly remember, but I feel like you can turn the fruit into seeds, right? And then I don't remember for sure. For some reason, my mind has lost that detail, but it seems like something you can do. Or maybe I am thinking of Harvest Moon in that case. I've played a couple of Harvest Moon games, but I definitely prefer this. It's got a lot more depth. Harvest Moon tends to be pretty badly like translated and stuff. Other catch, huh? Recycle. Take all the fish inside because I can go make sashimi. Put the bait back in the chest and go sell this stuff and put other things away, right? Stash the blueberries so I can keep making money for a long time. I'll sell the star ones, I suppose. Also need to stash the coffee. I can sell the corn too. Actually, have I added corn to the bundle yet? I don't know if I have. There's a fall crops bundle. I already have added corn. Okay, so I can sell the corn. So I got the fish. I can sell the peppers too. Those are a good gift as well. But there's the pepper poppers, but I don't have cheese is the problem, so I can't cook the recipe that benefits me the most. Because I don't have animals, so that's something I could probably look into doing as well while I'm killing time. I don't remember what it takes to get like a chicken coop going, but I think it's fairly expensive. Could go look into it though. So now I can make a ton of sashimi, which is very good. Makes your life very easy. Put away that. This is kind of my emergency stuff if I need it, but at this point I can sell the salmon berries because I no longer need them. So, cool. I need to go to the blacksmith for geodes, but no, he can't do it today because he's processing my thing. Okay, so I need to go to the museum anyway. So, same area. And then I guess otherwise I'll just run around and I'll figure out the cost for like the chicken coop and stuff and just start getting that going, I suppose. I want to say it's like 5,000, but I don't exactly remember either. Donate. There we go. Foraging. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. See, there are, like, books in the game that'll give you hints on, like, you know, you need to keep fishing to get better at fishing and stuff like that. Like, you need to boost your skills and make things easier. How deep do the mines go? I've already finished the mines, actually. You make friends with people and they'll send you recipes in the mail. Yep, that's true. That is true. Could also do some fishing, actually. That would be useful as well, probably. I need to go to the carpenter, but that would be probably faster just to walk at this point, I suppose, versus taking the minecarts. It's like halfway in between. Don't need to water the crops when it's raining, which is really nice because that can get pretty tedious and also uses a lot of energy to start the game, but as you get better at it, it's less of a big deal. Okay. What do I need to build a chicken coop? Yeah. Okay, 4,000. Or a barn. I could build a barn. Barn would give me cows and stuff, but I feel like I should start with chickens. Just easier. The mill. I know the mill has been around for a while. I don't think I've ever really used one. Sheds are also nice. Fish pond. Oh, there we go. Seaweed and algae, huh? Okay. That's new. Cabin. Oh, the horse. I do want the horse. 100 hardwood, 5 iron bars, 10,000 gold. Oh, you can make another shipping bin. That's cool. So I've got the money. I just need to bring the wood and the stone to get a coop. I suppose I could get started with that. That seems like a good idea. But I also need a silo. So I should build the silo probably first and then the coop. That way I can store the food for the animals. Otherwise you got to pay for it, which gets expensive, I believe. So wood and stone and... Okay, the silo, though, costs... Oh, it's cheap. Stone, clay, copper bars. So 110.5. Okay, stone, clay, copper bars. Get that going real easy, you know? Because you need to be able to feed your animals over the winter, and you can buy the food and stuff, but like I said, it's just not as optimal. So stone, clay, and copper bars need to bring back to her. Okay. Cool. Get the silo going. Where do I want to put it on the farm is the question. Maybe next to the greenhouse for now. I don't know. I usually like to put them up and out of the way because the silo is not something you need to actually interact with. You just need to have one. So I guess I'll see where I can build it. But stone, clay, and copper bars. Got all three and only 100 gold. That's so cheap. Get a silo and then work on the chicken coop, I suppose. Can I put it? No, it's the spouse area and stuff. Can I put it up there? That'd be good. It's out of the way. Cool. That'll work. All right, we're getting the silo, so we're gonna be on our way to getting animals now. Sweet. Good stuff. Suppose I could do a bit of fishing. Since I got not much else to do, since it's raining and stuff. Yeah, I want to catch, I know you can farm sturgeon for roe and like, or caviar or whatever, and like I want to figure out how that works. That's a new mechanic. But I don't know how it works yet. Oh, there's some algae. I need algae and seaweed, right, for the fish pond anyway, so I guess I will start saving that now. I didn't actually realize you needed that at all, so I've just been selling it. Shouldn't be too hard, though. You get a lot of algae from the pond, and then you can get a lot of seaweed from the ocean, so... Oh, man, I should really go buy a better fishing rod. I'm still using the super basic one. That's a nuisance, you know. Am I carrying that? No, I'm not. That's something I've been meaning to do for a while, actually. I just totally forgot about it. But I can get a fishing rod, and I can use bait on it, and that makes things just a lot easier, too. Rainbow shell, nice. Right. Going to the shack. Ooh, getting kind of hungry. About dinner time for this guy. Is this new? Let's see here. Oh. I said yes, I'm going to catch a lot of fish, but yeah, I've been doing pretty good. If you catch every fish in these waters, got a special prize. Yeah, I'm not going to... Not without looking it up, I'm sure. I know some of them are really hard to find. This seems new. I don't think I've ever seen this before. An old friend. Does he have like a boat or something? Fiberglass rod. Fish tanks. And this one you can attach like lures to and stuff, right? Yeah. Cool. So I got the new fishing rod. That'll be useful. As well buy a little bit of bait, even though I can usually make it on my own. I don't have any. I'm not carrying any at the moment, so do that. Go ahead and attach some to the rod. Okay. Cool. Lots to make a big difference, actually. Come on. I actually think this game has a pretty fun fishing mini game as far as they go. Like, see if I can get in that pool there. Not quite. Keeps you a little more engaged. There we go. Because with this one, you have to like keep the bar on the fish. And for some of the other games, like it's just too simplistic. Like the Animal Crossing way, waiting for them to pull it under is just kind of meh. This one keeps you a little more engaged. Like, yeah, you're kind of sitting here waiting. But I have to go. Hey, take care. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for hanging out with the stream. I appreciate it. And yeah, would recommend this game. So go get it. Oh, I get that too. There we go. Gotta pull in both. It's probably gonna be like rocks or bait, but that's okay, I suppose. Never got to the fishing part. Nothing looks better than Animal Crossing. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's I like this game a lot. It's got a lot more depth. I mean, I played the new Animal Crossing for a while, or for like a couple months, but it just doesn't hold my attention. You know, it's just so slow and samey. And I mean, this game can be too. Don't get me wrong. Like you need to make it a point to go out of your way to do different stuff. I mean, it's like honestly, I think this game is a lot better when you start talking to the characters and like learning about them, because like otherwise like it's just a farming simulator and you're grinding and like all this stuff, and it's fun, but once you're just producing money like crazy and all your crop stuff is automated, it doesn't really matter anymore, you know. It's more fun to get to know the people and learn their stories. Tuna. There we go. Need to make sure I go to the community center and donate some of these fish, because I know some of these I haven't added to the community center yet. That's one of the ways you progress through the game, is by like putting stuff in the community center. Like you got to get specific items. Keep fishing the spot until it's all done. Between the ripples and the bait, this is going much faster than normal. Which is very nice. You know, we should really see if we can get Dominic to stream his work on Static Check. He claims he doesn't want to, but he spends a good amount of time on Twitch, so. Of course, I don't know what his schedule is like. I think he works, I think he's up at night a lot and stuff, so for the US people it might not be easy, but maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing some of the Go community stuff like really flourish on Twitch, like, you know, like Large Databank and Mdemsky and Eric.dev, like everybody's doing their own thing, you know. Staffelberg when he was doing that as well. It's been a lot of fun, you know. Seeing people work on their projects and things they're passionate about, and like everybody's got different expertise, you know. That's very cool. I heard that Daniel Marti was talking about streaming as well. He's somebody I would love to watch too. All of his work on like the different Go tools and stuff, because like the source code manipulation stuff is all completely new to me. Yeah, I should send him a message after this and ask if he is still thinking about it, you know. Flounder. Oh. I get that too. Come on. There we go. Yeah, the little treasure chests make it more fun too, because you got to balance it out and like do something a little different. Get a little extra prize if you want it. Copper ore, okay. Oh, I'm out of bait. Shit. Well, that'll slow things down a bit. There we go. I guess I've never tried this on mouse and keyboard. I wonder if you use the mouse for fishing. I feel like a controller is really natural for this, because you can just press the buttons in a certain cadence. But Ah, shoot. I was looking at my phone because I got a notification that Large Databank started streaming, I guess, so we'll send him a raid. That'll be good. Of course, I think we've lost a lot of programming viewers at this point, but that's okay. Hang out and eat some dinner and watch him. That sounds fun. Because today, I think he's off this week as well, so he's probably just not much going on either, you know. There we go. It's fun to hear Mdemsky say on stream, you can just pick up some of these easy issues I added to GitHub, but when you look at them, they're all very far from trivial. Yeah. That's how I feel whenever I look at anything like command compile or the SSA stuff or the linker or anything. Like, the problem is that, like, it might not be that hard, but understanding the structure of the whole thing and how it all fits together and what you might impact if you change this one thing, that's where things get difficult. So, yeah, it's pretty funny. But I enjoy his stream now because I feel like I actually have a better understanding of how some of these things all fit together, right? Like, that's been the really cool thing, is getting to learn about that. Oh, I need to go up to the yeah, the generics refactorings have been interesting. Yeah, totally. Like, I catch the stream whenever I can. It's at like 9 o'clock at night for me a lot of the time, which is like I just end up not staying up that much later. But no, I really do enjoy his stream when he does it, and I'll catch it if I'm around, you know. Sweet. Did I get any sardines? I don't think so. Sardine, tilapia. Oh, shoot, those snails from the crab pots I could be putting in here and finish that bundle. That would be useful. Totally forgot. Hmm. Oh no, I just sold all my salmon berries. Ha. No. Damn it. Ugh. Happens, I guess. I wasn't going to finish the bundles the first year anyway. It's almost impossible. I mean, unless you're really, really on top of your game. Like, and I'm just not. I'm playing really casually this time around, so. Trying not to min-max, because that'll ruin the game for me. And I want to stick with it for longer and stuff. Yeah, okay. Let's go sell some stuff, make some sashimi, and we'll call it a stream. We will send Large Databank a raid. That'll be fun. Inventory full. Ah, shoot. Let's see. Sell it. I wonder how much these fish are worth. Like, I feel like I should just turn them all into sashimi, probably, but it seems like the easy answer for now, at least. Put away the garbage in here so I can recycle it. Gotta play the inventory management game. Need to save seaweed and algae now. That's good to know for the future. Quartz, copper ore, sashimi, sell the rest. Sell it, sell it, sell it. Could put away the old fishing rod. I no longer need that. Turn the rest into sashimi, and then we'll call it that. Sweet. And we're done. Ooh. I never end up selling fish. I always do the crab pots anyway, so that seems like an obvious choice to just do the crab pot one. Makes them cheaper so you can get a whole bunch. So you can get a bunch more sashimi, which is good. Cool. All right. Let's see here. Well, gang, this has been fun. Thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate that. It's been a really good time. Let's go ahead and send over a raid to Large Data Bank. He's working on, I assume, something science and technology related, but it should be a good time. So let's see here. Start raid. Yeah. Thank you all for hanging out. I really appreciate it. So it's been fun today, and have a good evening. I'll see you all later. Let's start that raid. All right. Bye now.